we wanted to welcome everyone, Corpus Christi, Texas. Thank you so much for joining us. This course, we're really going to be talking about money, mindset, entrepreneurship, confidence, and action based on what success means to you. And success looks different to everyone. I just wanted to put a little disclaimer. I do have my notes here. So if you see me looking down, I will be reading them because we have so much content to get through here. And I want to make sure that you guys are getting the most out of this course that you can. Yeah. If you do have a pen and paper handy, that would be wonderful. You should have also gotten a link in the emails to a workbook that we put together for you guys. Those worksheets are so important that you do. Mm-hmm. They really are going to help guide you and create a path for you. So you are in the right place. If you are either looking to re-enter the workforce, if you are looking to smash the glass in your career, you're already in a career you love, but you are looking to climb higher, or you are looking to launch a business, a side hustle, or grow your current business you have.
Right. So that said, we're talking money.
Oh my God, this is Gwen's new favorite thing ever.
I always wanted to do that. I try to make Dara put real cash in there, but she wouldn't. But next time.
Keep her on a budget. She just wants to fling money around.
Okay, guys. So anyway, it's been a crazy 2 years, which we all know things are totally different since the pandemic, right? So many careers that were out there before don't even exist anymore, right? And they won't exist in the upcoming future, right? So there's that. Also, there are so many new cool jobs and businesses out there that didn't exist before either. Actually, in 2020, okay, good. What year am I in? 2020, over 20.8 more million people started micro businesses. So small businesses, meaning that what you thought or what you knew before about possibility of careers and possibility of businesses has totally changed and transformed.
So people are making money in all new ways, right? From selling their gluten-free cookie dough online to the crypto bros, we know, and even like OnlyFans. I know that sounds funny, but I don't mean that as a joke. There are people on OnlyFans, not just one part, but people are making a lot of money online. So there really is no excuse anymore. Mm-hmm. And let's face it, I mean, corporate companies are having an impossible time right now retaining employees. Actually, workers have more leverage than ever right now to ask for what they want and ask for raises. So we're going to be going through all of that. Job openings right now are at historic high levels because of that. No one can keep their employees because after the pandemic, let's think about it. You've been home for 2 years, most people. You've realized, I'm not sitting in the car to commute anymore. I'm not being tied to a desk anymore. And people are like, screw that. I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm.
Well, people also had their freedom for the first time in a way, if you were able to capture, instead of being so stressed that you weren't working or, the pandemic was happening, people got a sense of freedom, right? What that meant that they could go to work on their own hours. They can do things on their own time. They got to spend time with their family, and they got to do things that they wanted to do that they didn't get to do in however long that they've been living. So now to go back to that, go back to a job, making the same amount of money, your time's now taken away after you got the gift of it.
Right. So no one's going back to that. No one wants to give up time. So trust us when we tell you, this is like the new wild, wild west out there.
And the good news, the wild west is where the fun begins.
So when it comes to making money, taking a more powerful financial position in your life is going to help you. And how to do that is you have to get your money mindset right. And we're going to go through that and how to do that. We do not create and maintain worthwhile, abundant, and prosperous lives by accident, okay?
Hashtag life by design. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, I always hashtag that. And it may annoy some people, don't care. The reason that I always put that is because finally, at this age of my life, I'm 46, I am finally living a life that I have designed for my own. And that's what we want to teach you guys here now. To not live a life that has kind of either been given to you, handed to you, or somehow just happened.
So it is carefully and precisely designed. Success is planned, all right? So people, don't fall into it. There is no overnight success. It is all planned. So I don't want anyone to be under have that misconception that it's just magic. It's not magic, and everyone can achieve it. And we're going to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go through that. So let's do a quick intro about who we are. I think a lot of you know who we are, but I do see a lot of new faces here too.
So many new faces.
So we want to do an introduction. I'm Dara Kaplan.
I'm Gwen Wunderlich.
And let's talk about who we are and why we're doing this and about our business a little bit.
Yeah, so I'll start. So together we own a company called Wunderlich Kaplan Communications. It's a public relations firm. If you've seen Sex and the City, think Samantha Jones over here. Okay?
That's Samantha
Thank
Jones.
you so much.
Personified.
In the real life, JK. But
that's true.
Okay. It was. Now I'm kind of like not that person anymore. I try. But anyway, so we have a really good time, right? It's an epic business to be in because we get to do a lot of cool things. It's a lot of hard work too. But what it means actually, us being in public relations, we are storytellers for brands, right? We are brand builders. We help big companies and small companies and entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs and celebrities build, their story to tell the world. Build a brand that people are interested in, right? Build a brand that people like, I need to have that just because, like Starbucks, before when you were younger, you would never be like, I'm not paying no $4 for a cup of coffee. No way. Now you're like, here's $7, give me my mocha latte, right? Because they have crafted their brand.
We work with everyone from household names to publicly traded companies, Fortune 500 companies, CEOs that you would know, and celebrities. We do crisis management, which means we are trusted confidants to these people in these businesses. So that is why we feel that we are very qualified to be trusted confidants to all of you women and help you get to the next level, just the way we do with our clients. So
some of our clients include MTV, Netflix, Triller, Nickelodeon, Maserati, Ferrari,
Procter & Gamble, Fujifilm,
Charlotte's Web, Camp Beverly Hills. I work with Swiss Beats. We've worked with Alicia Keys, Paris Hilton, Kelly Osbourne, you name it, down the road. It's been a long time because I've been doing this for 25 years. So
I have not, because I don't want her aging me like that. Okay.
15 years. But Benjamin Button over here doesn't want to age forward. So cool.
Next time you see me, I'll be an infant. Okay. Anyway, so
that's who we are. Okay. As our day job, right? It's what we do every single day, but we really do love what we do. And we're very passionate about what we do. Just to go back for 2 seconds, right now we're very happy in our business. And while we did always like PR, you get to throw events and do fun things. I mean, no business ownership is ever easy, but in the past couple of years, we've been able to really transform our business from, a company that wasn't financially sound to having a bunch of employees that weren't doing like great work to now being kind of having our business on our own terms. So we're there. And then also another reason that
someone is saying, can everyone please go on mute? So I don't know if there's some background noise. I didn't hear it.
And then Emma, can you drop the link to the worksheet? Okay, great. So also we want to talk to you 1 second about the internship. So
let's talk about our business not being financially sound first. Okay. So the reason we bring this up is because we have been there. We were able to find the key to turning it around. And so, we always laugh. It's a funny story. We were featured in Forbes a long time ago at this point, probably 7 years ago at this point. And we were laughing. I remember where we were specifically walking down Park Avenue together, and we're featured in Forbes, this beautiful article. And we had like $4 in our bank account, really.
In our business bank account.
Our business bank account. And we were laughing to ourselves. We're like, and since then, that was kind of a wake up call to us to be like, okay, something's not right here. What are we going to do about this? And we turned it all around and learned so much along the way, and that we want to impart that knowledge on you. So also, why are we doing this? How did we get here? Let's talk about that. So I don't know if many of you know about this, but some people that follow me well. We started a program about probably 6 or 7 years ago now at this point called the internship. And the internship was a program for women over 40 to re-enter the workforce. It became globally recognized. We were featured on CNN, Daily Mail, Inc. Every media outlet you could think of. And it was a worldwide success. It was so successful, in fact, we couldn't even handle doing it anymore in our office. We had women in our office. We were training them to re-enter the workforce. But what happened during this time, which was so interesting to me, is they came to us to re-enter the workforce, but then they saw us and our entrepreneurial spirit and how much fun we were having every day being business owners. And they were like, screw that. I don't want to go back to the workforce. I want to start my own business. So it became an incubator of sorts for women.
Mm-hmm.
And so through that, we realized, okay, we need to get our message out to a larger group of people. And we were like, we didn't know about courses yet. We're like, how can we do that? So we're like, we'll do a podcast. We did it for about how many years?
A year.
No, we did more than that. 2 years, I think. We had a bunch of seasons and we're like, okay, we'll do a podcast. We did our podcast and you should listen to it. It's really funny. Actually, it's called Crazy Filthy Rich. It was the Pretty Electric and it's hilarious. But we realized that wasn't the best format to give real actionable items that women could take away to grow their business, get back in the workforce, or, climb higher in their career.
Mm-hmm.
So then we came about to the courses, and that's where we are today.
Right. So when we were doing the internship, what we found is that sometimes people just needed a little something to propel forward that they weren't getting from their regular lives. Right. And that's where we wanted to come in. We saw little shifts in people that could happen so easily and quickly that was never going to happen on their own. Because sometimes when you need to shift and you don't have a circle and you're not hanging out in the right spaces that help create this shift for you, it doesn't happen or it takes really long. So we loved what we were doing. We loved helping people. Here we are today, and it's all good and it's going to be epic. So we recently taught a course called The Blueprint, and that was great. And we just finished that the other day. Now we decided to do this particular course. I was kind of triggered by something that happened about a month and a half ago. So I had a friend come and stay with me, and she was going through a hard time back in DC. And she had said, I just need a break. I said, come stay with me for a few weeks, get your life together, whatever. So in coming to Miami, of course, she was like, hell no, I don't want that DC weather. I want to live there. I'm going to look for a new job, et cetera, et cetera. So she found a remote job and she was very happy with the pay. And if you're on here, sorry, girl, I'm about to blow you up. She said, this is great. I got this job. I'm really excited. It's remote. It's $34 an hour. In my head, I'm not getting up out of bed for $34 an hour. I'm not getting up for $68.
Okay, Linda Evangelista.
Well, she's 10,000. I'll get up for 10,000. You know what I'm saying? I'll get up for 5,000, but that's my limit. Anyway, so at $34, I'm not getting out of bed. I'm not doing anything for $34 or 68 or multiply that times 5 per hour. And I was thinking about what she actually does for this company, right? So she's a creative, she does newsletters, she does marketing, she does all this tremendous shit. But if she had her own business, she'd be getting paid hundreds of dollars an hour to do it, right? So I kind of noted that and I just left it. And when she was so excited about the money, right? Because it got me thinking at $34 an hour times 40, how much really is she bringing home? Maybe 3,800, 4,000, and then, or no, like before taxes. And then what is she really having to live with? 3,200? Where are you finding an apartment now in this country for $3,200 a month in any metropolitan city? Let's say it's 2,500. Then she's
32, you have to calculate living expenses.
Right. That means no car. That means no credit cards. That means no phone. So the problem with companies that they're giving unlivable wages and people are still accepting it. And honestly, after this, these Zooms with us today and tomorrow, you guys are never going to accept that if that is you today. Also, what I noticed is that, I work freelance. We work from, not freelance, but we work from home, for the most part. We have our office, but work from home. So I'm sitting there. It's 11 o'clock. I'm like, hey, girl, want to go down to the pool? She's like, no, I can't. I have to work. It's 5:30. I'm like, hey, you want to go to happy hour? She's like, no, I can't. I have to be here to 6. And this was the same over the course of maybe 2 weeks. And I was like, the last time she said it, I'm like, what is it? Like, why are you chained to this desk? You're a 40-year-old woman. You're a freelancer for them, and they're making you be chained to the desk from 9 to 6. Like, what is this? Like, why would you work like this anymore? And she goes, I know it sucks. It's not right, whatever. And I thought about, like, we don't have to do that anymore. That life needs to be over and gone because time is your greatest currency. And we're going to get into that a little bit more. But I was so appalled by thinking that if you work at a corporate company, they give you 1 week or 2 weeks. If you're lucky,
you get 2 weeks off a year, right?
Off of 52 weeks out of your entire year. It's insane. It's just insane to think about. And it's not right because the truth is, like, if you have 1 year vacation, what are you doing? Maybe the things that you can never get to do, or you can't really go anywhere. You can't see the world. You can't really spend time with all your loved ones and your friends that you haven't seen. And who is anybody to tell you what you could actually do with your life? It was so aggravating to me that I was like, no, I called Dara. I'm like, we need to teach this course and tell people, hey, you're thinking about starting your side business? Hell yeah, we're going to tell you how to do it to make your own money. Or you're thinking about, you like your career, but you're not making as much money as you want to, and you're not as happy as you could be, and you need more time. We're going to tell you how to get there too. Or if you haven't been in the workforce, if you're like, you know what, I've been at home, now I want to get back in. I don't really know what's out there for me. We're going to help you get back in a really powerful way. So you don't have to deal with none of this bullshit that I'm telling you guys here, because it is bullshit and it's the old way of life.
It's the audacity of these companies too. It's you give your life for these companies, and what do you get back in return? Probably you could get fired at free will. So they could just fire you with no reason or cause, and that happens all the time. What else? So you're working to your bone, you're working to the bone, you get no free time, and that's what you get in return. Maybe what, a 10% pay increase every year, maybe, and then someone else comes in and they get more right away. It is just, the whole system is messed up. And
well, actually, what's happening now is that there was just a study in Reuters the other day, and people who have been there for about 10 years plus, so say they're making $70,000, right? And they want to raise, and Bob, their boss is saying, okay, I'll give you a $3 raise, and now you're making $74,000. Great. Lisa, who is younger or just coming into the company, is now coming in and saying, hi, Bob, yes, this is who I am, and I want $80,000 starting. They are paying more to people that are starting new than old employees. Okay, that is facts, what's happening right now. Okay, so if you're thinking about, oh, I don't know if I should leave my company, I'm scared, I am telling you, it is the right time to make any choice and decision about any of these three matters, like right now.
And one more thing, and we'll talk about this later on, and everyone here is a woman, the gender wage pay gap, we all know that exists. I'm like, fuck that, honestly. So when Gwen came to me about this, I said, let's do it, because for me, Gwen knows how I feel about women and money. I truly believe if we can educate women in this world to make more money, we will change this world. If women had more control over finances, the world would be in a different place than it is today. So that is why we are here. That's our spiel, guys.
It's our spiel. And what I want to ask you guys right now to think about, and I want you to take a pause in this and really think about this over the next couple of days. Talk about it with your family and tight friends too. You know, how many summers do you have left? Really?
Think of it's like a depressing, really, it's a depressing thought. When Gwen first said that to me, I'm like, oh, shoot, like, wow.
Right. So that could be that. Or you can use it instead of saying like, okay, well, I only have this and I'm sad about it. Or you can say, I only have 30 left, so I'm going to give it all I got. And it's going to be the most epic summers ever, ever, ever. Right.
I just want to take a minute just to read some of the comments. I love that you guys are dropping these in, and I really want to engage with you guys. So Lisa, you said you work in a family business, and as the owner, you have the freedom to take time, but you struggle to hire and let go of responsibility. So you're not delegating. Your problem is you're not delegating.
Not at all.
Right. And so we need to figure that out. And you end up chained to the desk. Right. Because at the end of the day, as a business owner, it's on you. So we need to figure that out. And there is a way to do that. Someone else, Andrea, said, so true. The hardest part, retraining your thoughts. Exactly. It is mindset. And that's a hard concept for people to think about, because if you're not in the self-development, self-growth world, mindset sounds like woo-woo, but it is not. Everything starts with your mindset. Ashley said, this is so triggering for me. I'm burnt out and over the lack of money and freedom. Hell yeah. Of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? Mina, this is so on time. The CFO of the company we work for just had a meeting saying employees are no longer have loyalty to companies. That's good and great, but companies don't have loyalty to you guys. So like irrelevant. Lauren said, you had the most successful year last year, but you feel like you hit a wall of fear. Okay, interesting. Again, that's mindset work. Fear, the thought process of being lack versus abundance. And of course you can do it again. That's just the story you're telling yourself. And we're going to get into that as well. Someone said they're doing Kathleen's program. Amazing. We love Kathleen. She's a client of ours. Deanna, fear to leave a comfortable job with a guaranteed paycheck. Of course, that's an understandable fear. But what can you do on the side to build a business while you don't have to give that up in the meantime?
Or at the end of the day, we're never saying quit a job before you have something else if you want to stay in the job market, ever. But what we are saying, your comfortable paycheck could possibly be an epic paycheck for somebody else. From somebody else that's going to give you more money, more time right now because they're dying to bring in new employees. You know, I was reading something recently. So in advertising, a couple of advertising firms, I guess they band together. They couldn't find anyone. They couldn't find anyone to work for them. So you know what they did? They put an ad out to hire comedians. Okay. And that's what does that even mean, right? So they were like, hey, there's nobody in the advertising world that wants to work. So how about some comedians, right? Because comedians, they're great, but they don't really make a lot of money unless you're like, you know, Amy Schumer. But that being said, I thought, like, why would they do that? And then I was like, wait a second. Comedians know how to entertain people, keep energy up, and deliver a punchline, okay? In advertising, you need to be able to deliver a tagline. So it's almost the same thing. Okay, so when you think like, wait a second, I don't have experience for that, trust us when we tell you people looking out of the box for all different types of leaders and energetically charged people to join their organizations.
So, sorry guys, like my brightness is going on and off. I don't know, are you guys seeing that? Okay. So is what you're doing feeding your heart? That again is something we talk about, the happiness factor. And that should be informing your decisions about what you are doing going forward. Okay. So let us go back to, we will jump into the comments as we go because it is very important. So let's talk about time is passing and it is time to take a hold of your life and live the best life you can. You're going to be living anyway, right? So why not live a great, inspired life? Don't you owe it to yourselves?
Yes, you do.
So what is Level Up? What are we here for? What are we doing? So I'm going to read this to you. What can you expect to learn here over the next 2 days? How to stop putting your dreams and goals on hold. If fear, confidence, and self-doubt is holding you back, we're going to get into that and we got you covered. Mindset strength, what it is, how to build it. We're going to talk about beliefs and your attitude about money, because that is really, really important as well.
Yeah. The next is, lack of knowledge. So many people say, I want to start a business. I don't think I know how. I want to jump into that field. I don't know how. The truth is, it's bullshit. It's a lie because it's called Google. Okay. It's called YouTube. There is a way to figure out everything these days because of 20-something-year-old crypto bros have done it, or an 18-year-old or 17-year-olds. I'm pretty sure you guys got this, and it's a story you're just telling yourself. So we're going to dive into that.
How to find your inner boss. Okay, we all need to find our inner boss. Your most assured, intelligent, ambitious, and self-worth in, finding that self-worth inside. How to consider time as your key currency. That's a big one. Okay. That is the one thing you will never make more of in life, time.
Right. And then also how to make the pursuit of happiness at the top of your financial plan.
Also, how to turn your service-based job into your first client. Gwen, you love this one.
I love this one because I've actually just been able to help like 6 of my friends do this, where they were working at a job and they were freelancing for them, or they were working, but then the job liked them so much, they wanted to hold on to them. But the people said, no. Hey, Jim, I'm actually starting my own creative consulting, but I'll tell you what, you could be my first client. Now they have a bunch of clients. They're making so much more money and they are doing it when they want to, whether that's on Saturday morning and then they're going to the gym, whether it's in the afternoon, whatever. So this is so easy to like understand how to do this. So
once you have the formula, which we are going to give you.
Correct.
How getting fired could be like the best thing that ever happened to you.
I personally really love this one. I'm so excited about this one.
And how to make the most of whatever resources you can pull together right now instead of waiting for the right time. There is no right time. It is now.
One of the big secrets to success of Dara and I and how we operate is we are like Nike and just do it. So if there's not a parachute, if we don't know if there's a parachute, we just jump anyway and hope that it opens when we go down. Because there's a thing about perfection paralysis, that so many people are waiting for the right moment, the right time. When I have this, and guess what? Years go by and you're in the same position.
It's called analysis paralysis. That's the real name for it. And it is a real thing. How many times are you trying to make a decision and you're like, oh no, let me think about every little thing that can go wrong. And you get stuck never making that decision because you are so worried about the outcome. And guess what? It never happens. So what's a bigger loss? Doing something not perfectly at first or just never doing it?
And then also, to be clear, if anybody's looking to start a business or has an idea for a new business, when I tell you it is first to market is the person who wins. What does that mean? You could have said, Ashley, I don't know why I want to pick you out, and say, hey, but I started this, but it was my idea. Well, guess what? You didn't talk about it, you didn't do it, nobody knows it, so it's not your idea anymore. Too bad. It's the other person's idea, and they are the originators of the whole entire process.
So waiting is not the way to go. Be like Nike and just freaking do it. There's a reason why that slogan is so important and so big. And our Blueprint ladies in here know we love that slogan. Okay, so the last thing is how to find the new resources that are out there when starting a career. And yes, at any age, we do not want to hear, I'm too old. The age is a lame excuse and there's no place for it anymore. You were never too old, ever, ever, ever. And I get this so much in my DMs. Am I too old to do this? Absolutely not. There is so much opportunity out there. It is just, you just need to grab it by the, the cajon, I'm not going to say it. I'll be couth. Anyway.
The cojones.
So did you know that out there are many companies. There's someone joining that just needs to go on mute.
Hey, Melissa, can you go on mute?
How do you know that was hard?
I see it.
So Haley asked, recommendation if we want to start our own business, but not sure of a big idea yet. Yes, we will get into that. Okay, so do you know there are companies out there right now that will pay you for an re-entering program? NBC, Amazon, JP Morgan, Northwell Health, all have paid internship. I call it the internship because that's our program. Internship programs.
Right. They're a hardcore training program. They're 12 weeks to 24 weeks. So basically they'll say, you don't have the experience here. Let us train you hardcore to join this organization. And we're going to pay you good to do it. And then at the end, we'll give you a job. Okay. And that is something that's brand new. And there are so many companies like this. Okay.
So we're going to also get into how to tell your journey proudly. This is very important. You're going to need to showcase your evolution to get more money. Here's the thing. It's all about your story. If people want the truth, they want the underdog to win. Hello, look at like Britney Spears.
Britney.
They want people to win with drive, compassion, hustle, empathy. People love that. You need the likability factor to win. And we talk about the likability factor a lot. People want to do business with people they like. So let's up that, ladies.
Right. So when you say, oh, but my story is I'm just, stay-at-home mom and I haven't done this and woe is me, guess what? You just check somebody the hell out the door. They don't care. They don't want to hear it. People want to be energetically uplifted and they want to hear your delivery. Even if it was, you know what, Paula, I'm perfect for this job. Yes, I've been a stay-at-home mom, but you know what that means. I've done this. And on the side, I've done this and I'm ready to get back to work.
And you have 15 seconds to do that. You will lose someone. It's about delivering your elevator pitch quickly and effectively because people do not have the time to listen to someone drone on and on and on anymore. Think about all of our attention right now, right? With all of the news coming in, social media, everything moves fast and you do need to move fast too with your story. So 2 last things we're going to talk about: how to understand explosive and immediate cultural shifts to grow your business, start your business, and negotiate a new position within your company.
So cultural shift, what are we talking about right here? Okay, so right now, there is a cultural shift happening in the workplace. And this is why we're telling you guys, if you're going to act for that money, go now, do it right now. In 2 years, the workforce may look totally different. You won't have that opportunity. If there's an opportunity, I'm going to call somebody out without saying it here. If you're an interior designer, okay, and there are opportunities, if there are opportunities where you're like, hey, it's hard for me to do interior design right now because everything's stuck in custom, things are stuck on boats, I really can't do it. But I just saw on the news, culture, that Airbnb is popping and everybody won't even go into work anymore, but they'll be renting Airbnbs. So now let me turn my interior design business into an Airbnb staging business to capture what's culturally relevant, because then you're doing what you do, you're doing what you know how to do, but people need you and want you in this cultural minute.
So you're pivoting, you're still doing the same thing, but you're pivoting. Your story is different. You are capitalizing on what's going on culturally. And that is the best way to get business. That's the best way that we get PR for clients, even to hook into what is culturally trending and relevant. So that's really important.
And it requires fast movement. So to give you an example, we have had clients and why we are successful in doing PR, right? And that is pitching stories to the media and landing them, is because a lot of times clients will come to us and say, hey, so this is our stupid message. This is what we want to say.
This is our stupid message.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what we want you to do. And we're like, sorry, Barbara, that doesn't make sense because this is actually what's happening.
And no one's going to care.
And this is what people are talking about today. So if we jump into the conversation, we're going to be then a resource for the people that are talking about this. And when you become a resource, instead of someone saying, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, the script flips and you are in demand.
And so the last thing we're going to teach you guys, and you can expect to get out of this, how making bigger requests of the world will actually help you generate more money, probably even double your income.
Let me give the quickest example, okay? Did anyone see Inventing Anna? Can I get like a little hand up if anybody
Raise
did?
your hand,
okay,
people.
So that chick had some serious audacity, right? I looked at it, I was like, oh, I can't even believe this, but I loved her, right? But she wasn't going around asking for $5. Nobody would even care. She's like, oh, I need $5 million. And you're like, wait a second. She must be somebody. We're going to give it to her. Or we're going to give her $2 million. And that makes sense. But the more you ask for, the more people will actually give you.
And we're going to get into this a little bit more, how to do that.
Yeah. And here's one quick secret, okay? If you say the word because in your ask, you will 90% more get the result that you want when you give the person a because in your ask. I need this money because. Works on the bathroom line too, by the way.
What?
I'm just saying.
What bathroom line are you talking
about? If there's a long bathroom line.
I need to go to the bathroom because?
Well, you lie about an emergency that you're having.
Okay. Anyway, so I want to take a moment to talk about this. A lot of you are from my Instagram here. And I've gotten so many DMs when I ask why you're joining us, right? What you're looking for. And I want to go through this because I want you to know that none of you are alone. And that's really important to know that you are not alone in whatever you're going through. It really helps to know that. So a lot of the messages I got, why people are in this position, fear of judgment and failure, feeling a lack of purpose in life, that they want to take a leap of faith to quit an unfulfilling job to start a business, but they're scared or don't know how, breaking out of old belief systems, not knowing your own passion, your values or your mission. And we go through that in the blueprint a lot, but we'll touch on it here. Not knowing, scared to make decisions. That's the analysis paralysis. Unsure about your future, want to quit your job. You want to start fresh, but you don't know where to begin. Some of you are feeling bullied at work. And that one, there's no place for it. We can talk about that later. And then I said this again, starting a new business. These are typical
But
comments.
You're unsure where to begin because maybe you have a lot of ideas or maybe you don't have just the idea yet, but we're going to tell you how to find it.
And let me tell you, feeling supported and knowing there are other people is just so imperative. And that is why, if you haven't joined the private Facebook group, go do that because you guys can talk to each other about it. We're in there too. And knowing you're not alone is important. So I would love to know what you're here for. Again, put that in the comments so we can go through that in a little bit. So why us? Why, besides our business, why us? What's our deal? Personal story time.
I'm a long format storyteller, as you can probably tell. So I'm going to try to narrow it down.
I'll hit her if she's going on too much.
If I'm moving, she's kicking me under the table.
Yeah, I'll kick her. She drinks so much coffee. If you guys know and you've joined our reset, Gwen is like a big fan of Cafe Bustelo. To the point in the mornings, I don't pick up her phone calls because she's blasting in my ear.
Whatever. Anyway, so okay.
Cafe Bustelo, someone said.
For life, if anyone represents them, I need a sponsorship deal. Okay, good. So here's the deal. Okay, several years ago, I was married to a bootleg Bernie Madoff. When I say that, he was a wannabe Bernie Madoff, right? He was like, started a fake ass hedge fund company. I did not really understand what this meant at the time because we lived on Wall Street. I thought it was like a thing that I was in my own world, right? He took me down to financial ruin with all his scams and things he did to, with all his scams he did throughout several years. And I was really unhappy in that marriage. It was loveless. It was definitely sexless. I can happily say that is not my case anymore. Can I get an amen? Okay. So loveless, sexless. I was broke, even though we were making so much good money in our business. I was spending everything on that. I gained all this weight because I was unhappy. You know what I mean? Outwardly, I was happy. At work, I felt like I was happy. I didn't feel like people knew I was unhappy, except for then my other best friend. She came to visit me one day at my house and she said to me, I love you so much, but you are now like a dead white horse. And it hit me so hard because I was always her unicorn. I was always her biggest. She loved me to the moon and back. And when she said that, I realized that I thought I was masking and I wasn't. And everybody must have saw. And if they didn't, the people around me saw what was happening to me and I needed to get out. Fast forward, Dara ends up, and she'll tell you guys a story she ends up meeting somebody else after she kicked her loser to the curb. And I was like, that's it. I'm going to follow suit. I ended up getting a divorce. I got my shit back together. I went to philosophy courses. I went back to the gym and I changed my life. And what I realized is that having a life that is 365 degree pumped with joy, and that is in your spirituality, your beliefs, your relationships, your love, your health, your wealth, everything really matters together. So I dragged her to philosophy and we just started changing the way we did our business.
I thought she joined a cult at first, by the way.
Right, but that would be cute, right? So cult forever t-shirts. But anyway,
it wasn't.
I'm going to make that, so please buy this. Anyway, so point being is that it was a way more dragged out story that we're not going to get into right now, but always available to talk about it.
Someone's taking a philosophy course because of
yes, I love good. That. I love that. But Dara and I, we both went through our shit and we decided to start changing the way we operated. We decided to use the power of no to support things that did not serve us. We started making better financial decisions. Once we were able to clear the gunk away, we were able to kind of step into our power. So years later, we both live here in Miami. We love our life. We're both, we feel our highest and best selves. And, that's why we want to talk about it. And we want to tell everybody, you don't have to be stuck in anything you don't want to be. There's a whole, it's not like we didn't do it. We did it. It happened to us. Messed up shit happened to us. We both lost our moms when we were younger. So we've been fighting ever since that young time. And yeah, we feel like we have the content, we have the resources, and we have the want to share our information.
So, and I'll just tell you a very quick part of mine. I too was in a really fucked up, excuse my language if there's kids around, relationship. I was engaged to, as Gwen calls him, a couch dweller.
That's being nice.
That's being nice. I was being dragged down financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. And because of that, I was not taking care of myself in all of those ways, physically, mentally, and financially. I dragged myself out of that. Gwen and I did that together. And we learned so much along the way. And that propelled us to the immense success we have today. Success financially and in happiness, living a life of joy, fulfillment, and making impact. That is why we are here today. I know my calling is to make impact in this world. And I've naturally always been a sharer. I don't know who's followed me here since my YouTube days and my Instagram. I love sharing. So of course, this is the next level. Yeah, it's cute to share what lip gloss and eye makeup I'm wearing. Cool, great. But that's not making real impact. Real impact is helping you guys make more money and being as successful as possible in your lives. That's impact. And that is why we are here. So with all that being said, at the end of this course, you are going to propel yourself forward on your own terms. We chose to structure this course as one of those fabulous old school books. I don't know if many of you know about this, but do you guys remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books?
Favorite,
right? So cool. And that's how this course is going to be structured. At the end, you can choose one of 3 paths. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. We promise we're going to do our best to guide you in this journey and change your life for the better, to provide real, truthful, inspirational energy along the way. So with that being said, we are moving on to part 2. Why you are all here, the temperature check. It is going to start getting really good. So I just want to jump into the comments a little bit before we
want to tell you the reason that Daryl wants to jump in the comments. We want to share with you some of the other people that are in here so you guys can know that like we're in it together. So
someone saying, is there going to be a replay of this? There will be. Emma will have that posted for you guys. You will get an email about the replay as well. I'm just looking. I love all of these things. I want to read them all, but just look, people are looking to start a consulting business. We love consulting businesses. That is such a great way to make a lot of money. And be happy and live on your own terms because you're your own business owner. Waiting to level up, but scared to leave a stable yet less than fulfilling corporate job. Interesting. We will get into that. 61, not working, husband retiring in a few years. You want to do something to make more money before he retires. Got you. You will be covered in this. You work as a nursery practitioner in London. Okay. It's hard to find another job because you have no experience by anything but childcare. We're going to talk about that. And that is probably not true. You probably do have experience in other ways, and you're just not formulating your story properly.
I can think of that right this second. Let me just give you a thought, okay?
Okay, come on, Gwen.
All right. Hold on. Let me do that. All right. So Sanab, I hope I'm saying that right. She said, I worked as a nursery practitioner working with children in London. After many years, left the job I didn't enjoy it anymore. Now I'm finding it hard to find another job because I have no experience in anything else but children. Okay, so whether or not you want to stick around the kid lane or not, right? We get like kids can be annoying if you have to deal with them every day. But what if you could take your knowledge from what you know about them and shop that as a consultancy to toy companies, to tech companies that have been recently heavily funded, okay? Because more VCs funded startups, tech startups this past year during the pandemic than any other year since like existence of tech startups, okay? So what if you can shop this content about everything that you know? They don't have to try to figure out what a 4-year-old or a 7-year-old likes. You know how they operate. So form a consultant company to provide your relevant information to these people and shop it. Send them emails, especially the tech world for children. You know, we got called just yesterday to represent a children's museum just the other day. And I was like, as your museum stands, I'm not interested. If you're willing to add a roller skating pop-up, if you're willing to add DJ Scratch Academy classes, if you're willing to add mini fashion programs, if you're willing to bring in a cool young TikTok creator that does arts and crafts with the kids, then I'm interested because that's what people care about today. So when you say, I don't know, you have. You just don't know yet, but we're going to get there.
So with that being said, Gwen's amazing coming up with strategies like that for people. In the worksheets, you are going to have an opportunity to work through these things, and we can kind of talk about it tomorrow after you do those worksheets. But that is a key factor in the courses we are teaching. How to pivot, how to retell your story, and how to shop that out to employers, clients, and how to use that to get back into the workforce. It's very, very important, and we will take you through that. So we're moving on to the next part. The temperature check. I said that. So we are going to show you how to prove everyone wrong, including yourselves.
Yes. Okay. I love that. So, all right. So first thing we have to do is karate chop fear in its face right this second, or compartmentalize it for now. Okay. For the next 2 days, you're not scared of shit. You have no fear of anything, especially when it comes to your career and your business. Okay. So put it to the side. It cannot exist in this conversation.
Do not let fear and regret drive you. Okay. I want you guys to really think about that. There is no place for it. And as we love to say, I feel like we need to make a sweatshirt or something that says, check it and chuck it. Recognize your thought pattern and get it out of here. There's no place for it. So what do we mean by that? Because at the end of the day, if all you have piled up on your table is a bunch of regret, shouldn't you be more scared of just having a life of regret than a few failures? So let's talk. If you haven't worked in a few years, or maybe you're in a job that you feel like you deserve a raise or a position jump, or you want to start this business, and I see so many of you want to start businesses, which I freaking love. I am an entrepreneur pusher. Like I think everyone should, I don't think everyone should be entrepreneurs because it takes a lot of grit. I was going to say that. Grind, hustle, grit, and risk. but I love it. It feeds my soul.
Right. And it's the era of the multipreneur, meaning you don't have to just be you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You could have 3 or 4 businesses, 7 businesses, 5 businesses. Do you know that Tony Robbins actually has like 187 businesses? Now, obviously he doesn't run them day to day. He has teams, but that means his ideas, his thoughts, his desires, his wants, his dreams, they're varied. You could dive into so much stuff. So Jeff Bezos too, by the way, if you were to see what he actually owns, then everything his business funds, pretty interesting.
So you are in the right place if you fall into any of those categories. It's time to stop putting your dreams on hold. Success has no deadline, but it is starting now. So we're going to get into it. It's time to be the best version of yourselves. And so to do that, you're going to have to identify what success means to you. Maybe it's more money. Maybe it's a better career title. Maybe it's social status, more time with the family. Maybe it's to be famous.
I like that.
Gwen. Yes. To be more spiritually sound, to leave the world a little bit of a better place than you found it, to make impact. That's mine.
Right. But whatever it is, okay, don't choose anything.
This is important.
That will jeopardize yourself. What we mean by that is that sometimes people say, well, success means to me a big house and a big car and a Bentley and whatever, a big yacht, whatever. Okay. So if you think about that, cute, nice, who doesn't want that? But to get those kind of things, oh, my nail just popped up. So if you saw that flying, that's what that was. Okay. So
it hit me in the face.
When you think about success and money, you need to think about how much time that is going to make you have to put in to make that money. Okay. So if you're saying, you know what, I want to make good money. I want to have a fabulous life, but I also want to be able to spend time with my kids. I also want to be able to travel the world. I also want to be able to do the book. Then money can't be your leading drive of success.
And I have a funny story about that. This happened to us in Paris. I'm going to bring up that story.
Yeah.
So when we didn't know any better, we were just little newbies in the business world. There was someone that owned a very big advertising agency in Paris. We met him in Morocco. He invited us to Paris, and we were in Paris taking a meeting with him. He was interested in maybe buying our business or whatever.
And look, we were feeling fabulous. Okay. We were like, whatever he's saying, we're going to listen to.
So he was interested in buying our business. And he said, how much money a year do you ladies want to make? And we were, very young at the time and silly and not thinking about things. We're like, $10 million.
No, we said $1 million.
No, I don't think it was. And so It was not $1 million. It was like $10 million. And he goes, well, that's great. But do you know how much work and what you need to do and how many clients you need to have to make that money? And we were like, no, we never thought of that. Actually, we don't want that right now.
Actually, he said, so let's calculate it.
And so knowing what you want is very, very important. So what success looks like to you, because you're going to have to build the steps and goals and tactics to get to your goals. So it starts with what success looks like to you. And you guys have a fabulous worksheet in your workbook attached that's going to help you outline that. So please do that. Please, ladies, take the time for yourself tonight to do the workbook. Put the work in. You've carved the time out to take this course. Do not shortchange yourself by not putting the work in. You have to give yourself the best shot you can to be successful, and you have to put in work. And we've provided the tools to help you get there. So please do that.
So let's read a few more of these before we move on.
I just want to ask one thing before we leave comments. In the meantime, I would love to see off the top of your heads what success means to any of you ladies, and drop that in the comments. I would like to just see some of that before we move on. Someone already did the workbook last night. Oh my God, I love that. Okay, you get an A+. The workbook link, the link is in the chat. Emma will send it again. It is in your email though. Flexibility, freedom, financial freedom, time freedom. I love those answers because to me, freedom too. Freedom in life is such a luxury. It really is. No one breathing down the back of your neck to do things. Ability to pick up my daughter from school every day. That's freedom. More money, freedom, balance, positive impact. I love these answers. A strong legacy.
I want to say about the pick your daughter up from school every day. That's very nice. And Heather, who you said that, but I remember my dad could only pick me up 2 days a week or 1 day a week from school because, he worked and that was his days off. And I remember that being such a cherished memory for myself. And it creates such, a bond with your kids when you have the time, when you're not just pushing them aside because you have to work to build somebody else's empire. When you get to connect with them, that is so many families' problems, actually, the disconnect, right? And it's because we're like, hey, I'm too busy for you. I'm too busy for you. But mostly it's been to build somebody else's dream and not your own. And that's the really sucky thing about it.
Okay. So we are moving on to part 3. I think at noon, we'll give you guys like a 5-minute break. You guys want a break to, maybe go to the bathroom, get a drink of water. I've been drinking water. You let me know. Raise your hand if you want a break, and we'll give you guys a little break at noon. And if everyone can go on mute. Sorry, just one thing. Everyone go on mute. Someone named Callie, you're not on mute. Sorry to call you out, but we need everyone on mute.
We'll call outers.
Thank you, girl. We do like to call people out. Okay, so we're moving on to part 3.
Wait, because I think in 5 minutes, we talked about at 12 o'clock, we're going to take a break. So let's read a few more of these. Let's take a 5-minute at 12. And then from there, we'll jump back on. Okay. Because I saw a lot of you guys need a break for a second.
Okay. We got a lot of info to go through though.
Yes. So I did want to read right now. Success to me is doing what I'm passionate about and no more worrying about financial security and living in survival mode way daily. I have been there. I understand. We have both been there. Okay. And that is no way to live. So, it's interesting because several years ago, I was at an event, and it was an event for a charitable, it was called Land is Life. And these Indians from the Brazilian rainforest came, and through a translator, they were talking because it was to raise money for the Brazilian rainforest. Anyway, I was so moved by it. And then afterwards, through the translator, I asked the chief if he liked it in New York, right? We were at a fabulous,
townhouse, like the Halston. I think it was the Halston townhouse.
Like the creme de la creme, right? Like where you would want to be in Fifth Avenue, right? So I said, oh, do you like it in New York? Thinking he's going to say yes. And they said no, that they couldn't wait to leave because the sirens and all the noise and the people, but mostly the sirens were messing with their central nervous system. And I didn't even think about that for a second, about our central nervous system and how we operate, right? So like when you snap, when you do this, when you're operating in survival mode, you're operating at a very scared, frantic, pace and way.
You're not making sound decisions either. You're not making logical decisions when you're operating at that level. Your cortisol and hormones are shooting off. Your brain is fogged. So I understand that.
So just, be careful about, in moving forward, that you're moving forward with purpose in your decisions, right? So when you say, I want to have a better job, to give you an example, in the last, blueprint course with some of the members, one of the women said, I think I want to go back to work. We kind of talked it through. She edited her resume, her papers, and she sent it out. And then all of a sudden she got 3 interviews right away.
I saw her.
Okay, she's here. She got 3 interviews right away. Each was better than the next. But after negotiating for more money with the last one, she said, you know what? Hold on a second. I don't need to operate in survival mode. I don't need to operate in frantic mode. I'm going to think about if I even want those jobs, because now I understand that people do want me. And look, as soon as I put it out there, there's already a demand for me. So now I don't have to operate in this yes space where I'm taking a job that's maybe paying me less money, or I'm taking a job that maybe won't, give me the time and energy that I want for myself.
So we'll do a little bit of a break. It's 11:58. We have a lot more to get through. So go get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, make sure you have a pen and paper, ladies, because we have so many things that you need to write down and think about.
This is a part that we're going to get to the work.
So yeah, we are getting into the work. So ladies.
12:05.
No, it's 11:58. You have a 5-minute break. Be back at 12:03. I'm a stickler.
Damn. All right.
I'm a stickler. I yell at one all the time.
Softie.
She's a softie. All right, ladies. So go get a break. Go do your thing and be back in 3 minutes. We'll be right here.
5 minutes. Okay. Bye.
No, 3. 5.
Thank you. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. Listen.
Okay, we are back, ladies. Make sure everyone's on mute. I'll give everyone one more minute. I'll be generous. Oh, well, I'm not at 12:03 yet.
Also, if you guys can turn on your cameras, we would love that.
We would love
to see your beautiful faces.
It is so nice to see people's faces, and also
I have a faux $100 bill for anyone. Yay.
send you $100. We like to see, people's reactions and faces and that kind of stuff. Link for workbooks. Okay, guys, that was sent in an email. We'll send it again to all the registrants, Emma, maybe. Emma also dropped it in the chat. Oh, she just did already. She's so good, Emma.
Emma's the best.
She's the best. We love her so much.
So if you ever think you're talking to a crazy, filthy, rich robot.
No, there's no robots. It is Emma.
Emma.
She's the cutest. Okay. All right, ladies. Are we all back on? Emma, is everyone back on? All right.
Well, I do just want to say, guys.
Of course, she has something to say.
That's my line. I just want to say, guys.
I just want to say
is that I feel so pumped up and motivated to be talking about this with you guys. And it's like deep from within for real, because I feel so passionate, and I know Dara does too, about helping other people make money.
Especially women.
And have epic lives, seriously.
We have one life, right? We have one life. It's pretty short if you think about it. There is no dress rehearsal. So let's do it. Let's make this life the best we possibly can. Mm-hmm. Look at it as a game, the game of life. Well, who remembers that game? I love that game. Anyway,
never played it.
You never played Life? I can't.
Monopoly forever. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So we are moving on to part 3, which is the money mindset. We're going to be talking about what drives our beliefs in money. And this is important to understand, and there's a reason why. It's clear money evokes very strong emotions in people. Everyone has deeply held and often subconscious beliefs about money. But where do our feelings come from? How is a money mindset created? Money mindset is largely influenced by past experiences around money, positive and negative, mostly negative, and mostly from your parents. It's also possible you came from a household that money was a taboo subject, right?
Mm-hmm. Like for me, well, Dara and I are both Jewish, and in the Jewish religion, people would be like, 3 things you don't talk about: money, religion, politics. You never talk about this at a table. You never talk about it, not to offend people. Meanwhile, no one ever sat there and talked about money to me because it was taboo, or we didn't really talk about it. And that is
very, very detrimental. And it's a big difference between women and men, actually. Men are encouraged to talk about money. Men are encouraged to learn about money. For women, we're not encouraged to talk about it. We're not encouraged to learn about it. We don't interact with it on a daily level like men do. And that puts us at a disadvantage. Mm-hmm. So anyway, from there, you're either consciously or subconsciously develop a unique set of beliefs around money. Based on life experiences, positive and negative. So any chance we could format the workbook with just text? It is printer friendly already. Well, we can talk about that later. Sorry, I just distracted.
But we are going, so in the workbooks, you're going to do, your mindset, your understanding of what you know about money, how you behaved around money based off of your past, okay? And I do want to go into one more example so you can understand how this all relates, okay? So I grew up with a very happy childhood, right? Okay. My parents were very loving. Everything was great. My dad was a mailman. We didn't have a ton of money. I had an above ground pool. I wasn't having Nikes. I had Olympians. I shopped at Fava and Sears Surplus instead of like, Macy's or whatever the case is. But we were happy and my parents loved me. And because I had this happiness and joy and all the kids wanted to be at my house, I never saw I grew up with the belief I don't need a lot of money to be happy. But and that's nice, right? And that's great, right? Because you should be happy and joyful from within. But what that did is that translated or transferred with me to when I even started my business.
Mhm.
I would be like, I like what I do. I don't need a lot of money as a entrepreneur when I was in my young 20s. And then because of that, I never asked for a lot of money. I was always like, oh, I'll do it for this. Yeah, okay, no problem. And we're all happy. And then it kept going and kept going and kept going until I'm freaking working for way below what I should be getting paid because I don't need money. These are things these become money blocks.
So these become scripts. These become stories we tell ourselves, and those follow us throughout our whole lives. So it's very important. Number one, that we recognize these, right? Let's recognize our thought patterns around money, because only when you recognize them, you can begin to change them. And with any other issue in life, you have to recognize to then change.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or yeah, if you grew up with no money and it was always like, where's the next paycheck coming from? Where's the next food coming from? Then you're always operating for the rest of your life in a scarcity mindset.
Mhm.
Or like someone we know, he just works so hard and so much and only works and doesn't even enjoy his life, even though he makes a lot of money, to keep making more money because he's so scared of not having money because his family was so poor when he was younger.
Right.
So that is these kind of things that happen to us, and it really sets our behavior up for, our lives.
And impacts how then we go into situations. It impacts how we go into starting a business, how we go into growing a business, how we go into asking for money for jobs. It sets up everything that has to do with your financial future.
Mhm.
So it is very, very important. And you have a worksheet in the workbook to go through this with yourself. So do you want to talk about the example that you wanted to give about someone with the money mindset?
Right. So she may or may not be on here. So if it's you, it's you. I'm shouting you out, but I'm not going to say your name. So we have somebody she's a doctor and she has a practice. Okay. She's in one of our courses. And she said when she makes a nice living, she's very popular. People know who she is. But when people are late to her appointments, she doesn't charge them. She's supposed to. There's a cancellation fee, but she'll say, but I feel bad. They're coming to me for healing. Or if they don't show up, she's still not charging them. So she's charging $300 every time they come in the door. Now she's losing $300 every time they don't come in the door. And she feels bad. What? She feels bad that, I shouldn't charge them. They're coming to me for healing. I don't have it in me. Do you think John Jones, medical surgeon at, Mount Sinai Hospital would be like, oh, you didn't show up. Don't worry about it. Hey, it's on me. Never. Okay.
And as women, we do that to ourselves. We bring emotion into the financial aspect of our lives, which we need to not do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So,
or, hey, they couldn't pay me. They're having bad times. Well, guess what? Enough of that. Then you're going to start having bad times.
You have to value yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
that's very, very important in this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So people who have a healthy money mindset believe things like, I have the freedom to spend, but maybe I can also tell myself no to a purchase. It's positive. If you find yourself repeating negative phrases in your mind when it comes to money, you're definitely not alone. But there's an antidote to all this in the form of employing a genuinely positive outlook, even when it feels difficult or unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
There are phrases you could say to yourself, like money comes to me, money is available, money is abundant. And it sounds silly, but guess what? You're reframing the structure of money in your life, and you must do that.
Mm-hmm. Now, honestly, I just want to repeat that because it sounds really woo-woo, right? Like, you're never really told that. And if you don't do coaching, or if you don't do a lot of self-help, then you probably wouldn't be saying this very often. But to give you an example, like when I was with my ex-husband, our financial rope was always around my neck. The next bill was always in the corner. I'm going to tell you a story. This is like so crazy, but it's true. I don't care. So basically, here's the deal. You guys know what Bob's Furniture is?
Oh God,
okay, like Ashley Furniture, Bob's Furniture. Okay, like I'm not even a Bob Furniture type of person. Okay, I'm more like a Fendi Costa person. Okay, but then I was a Bob bitch. Okay, so Bob's Furniture. My ex-husband says, the Bernie Madoff fake. He says, okay, don't worry, we'll put it on my credit. Okay. The Bob Furniture for our new house, a 5,000 square foot house that I was paying for. Okay. So Bob Furniture, we get a living room set, we get a bedroom set, right?
I'm laughing even thinking about it because I know this story.
This disgusting, crappy furniture, right? So he doesn't pay, right? Or he slides on the $230 a month payment for our living room set, our bedroom set, right? Bob starts calling, they're blowing us up. I don't even have the money because I'm paying so much shit out. They start calling Dara, okay?
Let me tell you, I was on a date with my now husband. It was like a breakfast date or something. Someone keeps calling my phone over and over. I pick it up and they're like, Miss Kaplan, do you know where so-and-so is? And I'm like, who is this? It was Bob's Furniture looking for her husband. I told my husband at the time, I'm like, I don't know why I'm being called. I text Gwen and go, yo, why is Bob's calling me?
Right. It's worse. Okay. So then they came to the house. When I saw them come up with the driveway, I stopped and I dropped and I rolled underneath the couch so they couldn't see me through the bay windows. Okay. I hid my dog so they would think no one was home.
So when we tell you shit's been real for us, it has been.
Yes.
We are coming to you with real experience.
Yes.
Here.
Okay, guys. Seriously. So we know about the ropes of financial stress around the neck.
Right. So,
but now I say that to say, now my money's mine. I would always say, I don't have any money. Sometimes when I get to work, I'd ask Dara to come outside the office so I could cry because I'd be so stressed out because I'd be like, I don't have any money, even though, again, we were making a shit ton of money. Okay. But it was just all going out.
It wasn't being handled properly. So
right.
You must know how to handle money.
But now I say, always, I have enough. I'm going to have enough. Oh yeah, it's coming. Don't worry about it. To the fact that two amazing, huge opportunities came to me. It was way more money than I was able to come up with, or I thought I was able to, but then I said, no, I have it. I'm going to make it happen. Money's abundant, money's coming, and they both came, and it keeps coming every single time we need it. When we lose a client or if we lose a project, we're like, bye, okay, on to the next. Another one's coming, no problem. And because we're living in this mind, in this frame of mind, things are coming to us with ease.
Okay. So the good news is, regardless of your background, your money mindset, it all can be strengthened. And it depends on the information you start consuming, like the information we are giving you. So whether you're thinking about starting a side business and you haven't pulled the trigger yet, or looking for a new gig and wanting to ask for that big ass, well-deserved raise, which you should, we want to talk about the lack of knowledge story that you are telling yourselves and what to do instead.
Wait, I just have to say something. So somebody named Christine just said, skip tracing. They will hunt you down for dollars. They will call your neighbors and family. I've been there. Okay, that's pretty funny. I'm glad I'm not alone in my Bob story. Good.
Okay, so let us say this. Whether you've studied it, done it, trained it, or haven't, lack of knowledge should never be your excuse for not starting a business or not creating a career for yourself. As Gwen likes to say, it's called Google, it's called Udemy, it's called Masterclass, it's called YouTube, it's called Crazy Filthy Rich. That's what we are here for, to give you the information to do it. So there are millions of free workshops like this one, virtual and in-person classes, paid courses, trainings, and podcasts to listen to. There is no shortage of books. There is no shortage of videos to provide you with the knowledge you need to succeed. So it is on you, ladies. It is on you to go find the information and use it to your advantage. It's out there for you. You just need to start pulling it in and using it as a resource.
Yeah. Well, what we find so much is that it's actually not lack of knowledge, but lack of confidence in self, right? It's not that you can't figure it out. I mean, you're all brilliant, all smart, you made it this far. It's not that you can't figure it out, but you don't have the confidence inside, and you haven't either found your self-worth or you don't know where it is at the time right now.
So confidence is a really big key to success, obviously. We speak about this so much in the blueprint. We have a social club, like a membership club, which we did a whole Zoom on confidence. And why did we do that? Because it is imperative. It sets you up for success. And we've added a worksheet in the workbook for you to begin to work on it if you need to hone your confidence skills. And yes, confidence is a skill that we cultivate. You know, it's not a constant state of being. It's something we need to work on. So we'll get into that later on. But we'll lay out the stories for you in the worksheets that we tell ourselves versus what the truth really is. So the truth of it all is you have to find your inner boss, your most intelligent, ambitious, self-worth and own it.
Mm-hmm. So the thing about confidence, if you don't have it, anything that we're talking about here isn't going to happen for you, because you need to be confident to go in and say, hey, you know what? If you're going in and asking for a raise, right? You're not a subordinate. You're not someone's underling. You are an equal. You say, hey, this is what I'm bringing to the table. This is what I need to succeed and to have a better life for myself. Okay. If you're going to try to start a business and get some clients, people want to work with people that are confident. Okay. Not people that have their head down. So if it's even something as simple as like, chest up, ass back, throwing on a Beyonce and doing a snap, whatever you need to do to regain your confidence, it's key.
So what we can tell you and we believe is the number one thing to finding your inner boss is working with purpose. When you love what you do and you feel a sense of your mission, you work with purpose, okay? And having purpose in your career should always be your top priority. Having confidence in your thoughts and ideas, trusting your inner gut, knowing who the hell you are, okay? Mm-hmm. What you are capable of. So now you need to act like it. Mm-hmm. So Gwen has a favorite quote.
Oh, I love this quote. Okay. So you never know how tall you are until you're called to rise. And I really love that quote because, and I'll just say it again, you never know how tall you are until you're called to rise. I love it because so many times when we were younger, or even, in daily life, you said, I would never be able to get through that. I would be willing to bet you if 4 years ago, someone said, listen, in 2 years, it's going to be a global pandemic. The world will shut down. You won't be able to see your friends and family for 2 years. You might lose your job. You might do this. You would say, that could never happen. I could never survive that. The world would never survive. And look at it. It did. It's changing. It's getting bigger, brighter, and we're learning to do new shit that we never thought we would do. So it's not that you can't. It's just that now you're being called to rise. You have to call yourself up to rise, your inner self to rise up.
So we've all been through so much in life. Times we've been knocked down, times we've been taken out, times we've been beaten down. But look at us. We're all here standing. We're ready to fight. Mm-hmm. Every single time you need to find your inner boss bitch, go back to those times. Go deep and remember, you guys are warriors. You've been through it. You're strong. You're self-aware. You're powerful. And you're smart women.
Mm-hmm. I just want to talk about that just a little
Everyone
bit.
go on mute. Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to talk about that a little bit about, going from within. Is that, again, it goes back to the point of all the time that you didn't think that you would make it and you did. The time you were like, oh, I'm never going to pass the bar. I'm never going to graduate. Maybe you were pregnant during graduation of high school and you never were like, I'm never going to be able to do this. And you still did it. Maybe, one of your parents died and you were like, I'm never going to be able to pull out of this, but you did do it. Go back to the time that you were hurt the deepest, the most. And then smile at them for a second and be thankful to the little you inside that actually pulled out and pulled through. So especially there are so many moms I hear that say, oh, I don't have confidence. Are you kidding me? You not only birthed these children, but you also have raised
they're alive
children as citizens of the world. It's something really to be proud of. And I know that as people, or as women, we don't celebrate our wins enough. And we don't really take, note of everything that we accomplished. We just move on to the next thing. We're like, oh, got the job. Okay, good. Maybe I had a drink with my girlfriend and celebrated and then I went right to the job. But really giving yourself the real pat on the back that you deserve to be wow, I did this. I pulled through. And that's where inner confidence and self-worth comes from. So.
Absolutely. So in the worksheet, we're going to discover the thought process behind, you'll discover the thought process behind you becoming a boss bitch within. What is that inner strength? So we have the worksheet, but let's go over it right now. There's some people that are not on mute. If you can mute yourselves, that would be very helpful for everyone on the Zoom. Okay, so I want you to get a pen and paper out because we are doing some work right now, okay? So the first step to finding your inner boss bitch is figuring out your worth. And how do you do that? I want you to go and list all of your accomplishments. Again, you can do this later, but write these questions down. It is also in the worksheet. List all of the accomplishments, everything that you've done in this life that's been hard that you got done. List them out. And I want you to think way back. I want you to really take some time to do this.
If you guys ever, need a little bit boost, a bigger boost, there's a book that I love. It's called 5, right? It's just 5. It's a red book. It's on Amazon. I think it's like $20. And I got it many years ago. And every year around December, I write on it. And I write like where I want to be for this year. And then I now have had it so long, I just keep adding paper to it. And I have the notes so I can see how
She
far.
also gives copies to everyone. I have like 3 of them from her.
Get on my mailing list, kids. Okay, so no, just kidding. I don't have paper, but buy it. Support an author. Anyway, but I'm able to see how far I came. So even if December is a crappy month, I'm like, wow, I did that. I bought this. I took this class. I traveled to this place where I said I was going to. So listing your accomplishments is good, but if you need some prompts, it's a great book.
So the next step is find your mantra. And the word mantra, like I know
I hate it.
She hates it. We kind of roll our eyes at it, but like there's a reason we say it. So if you're in the self-development, self-growth world, you know about affirmations and mantras, and why they are important is I'm not talking about like go look in the mirror and be silly, like no, but you do need to learn to build confidence through your thoughts and your words, because that is how confidence is built. After all, there is a lot of research that shows the more positively that we speak to ourselves, the better it makes us feel, and in return, the more confident we become. If there's research on it, it's not just us being silly.
Oh, I just want to hit a quote here. Not a quote, a comment. Someone said, I just got fired from my job and I ended up getting another job with a $50,000 increase. Facts.
So that's why we say sometimes getting fired is the best thing that could possibly happen to you.
But we are going to talk about that tomorrow and how to like flip the script on the firing part.
Absolutely. So another tip to finding your inner worth is working hard and supporting others. It sucks, but being a woman is not the easiest, especially in the business world, right? We all know that we get paid less than men. We come in at lower pay wages. We have to fight harder to be heard, to sit around board, around the tables, at board meetings, on boards. There's a lot more that we go through as women, and it's the unfortunate truth. So we need to work harder to get to the same levels that men are at. So help other women. That's my point. Bring them up with you. And Gwen and I do this all the time. We make it a point in life to bring women up with us, to support other women. You never know who's going to be in a power position one day and who can help you.
Example, one of our girls, Brittany, I mean, she worked with us for years. I gave her her first job in PR. I loved her. She was amazing. And after several years, she was like, listen, I really want to do TV hosting. I helped her book her first TV segment. Now you probably see her all the time. Her name is Brittany Levine. She's on the Today Show. She's on Wendy Williams. She's on Good Morning America, a beautiful blonde. And you know what? When I need something like, hey, I need my product on whatever, she's like, send me what you got. Let me see what I can do. Make it happen for you.
Many examples of that. So in order to be a boss, you need to work hard in general, but do not tear other women down on your journey to becoming the biggest and best boss you can be. I see it happen all the time. The insecurities, the gossip, the negativity.
The overcompensation.
Do not be that woman. Hold people up. Lift other women up. Be positive. Share your support. Help other women to become a boss as well. Anything you learn that inspires you, share it.
Right.
You never, we're flames, and we never lose our flame by lighting another candle. Please remember that.
And when we talk about inner boss, we want you to understand whether you are looking for a new job and you haven't been in the workforce, whether you are wanting to start your own business or whether you want a career jump, it is important to find that inner boss, because when you do that, you are so solid in your convictions of who you are that whatever you move forward to and whatever you decide to do, you will be able to do, because people will believe you. People want to see strong and confident, bossy type women,
Okay, so the next one is set goals, both big and small. And I'll tell you why this is really important. Goal setting is imperative, not only in your career, but in your personal lives as well. You should set goals in all aspects of your lives. Why? If you do not set the goals, you do not know the necessary steps to get there. It's like, if you don't know where you're going, you can't find the map or create the map to even get there. And it sounds like simple and silly, but guess what? There are so many people in this world that do not set goals, and you should be setting them daily, weekly, monthly, yearly.
Right.
Every
it's
day.
as simple a thing of saying, if you were driving from New York City to California without Google Maps or Waze, you would need a hard map of how to get there, unless you would just be cutting off at the wrong exits, maybe having a
Well,
good
also,
time
you
for
don't
the
even-
first day or two, but then you'd be like, where the fuck am I going?
Yeah, but you don't even know where you're going without knowing
Right.
that you're going to LA or something.
Mhm.
You have to know where you want to go in this life to be able to create the steps to get there. And it's kind of like a missing concept for people. So I want you to think about that. What is your goal every day? What is your overall goal for the week, the month, and your year? And then where do you want to be 5 years from now? Write that down. As silly as it may sound right now to you, as ridiculous or outlandish, write it down, because guess what? I'm sure it's not that outlandish.
Mhm. And honestly, goals change all the time, and we get that, and that's
Mhm. And they
totally
should.
fine and cool.
They should change. You
Mhm.
are evolving. And that is not to say, you don't need to be strict and stringent, right? You should be evolving. So weekly, monthly, yearly. And when you look back, those goals may be completely different, but that's fine.
Mhm.
So the next step is looking like a boss.
Right. So obviously pandemic. So the pandemic pants, right? The sweatshirts, the hoodies, the, bland colors and no makeup. We've kind of gotten to this rut of, hey, I'm just going to throw this on. I'm just going to wear whatever. Right. But the problem with that is, and this is the truth, when you dress better, you feel better. End of the day, whether you slick your hair back and put on a nice red lipstick and a cute little pink shirt, whatever it is.
So it's not superficial to say this. I'm not talking like
No.
this is not about being superficial, like
Mhm.
your outside looks. It's about embodying how you want to feel and portray to the outside world. And when you feel like you're wearing something great and you look good, guess what? You are projecting a completely different image than if you're like, I'm wearing baggy sweats, my hair doesn't look good, I don't like how I look. You're hiding, you're shrinking back, and that is not how to be a boss. You cannot shrink back. You need to be out there, walking confidently in your purpose.
Right. And it's not just like going for a job interview, right? Or just at the job and then you take it off, right? You're a representation of you 24 hours a day. I'm not saying like that I don't love a good sweat and stretch, okay? Obviously. But here's the deal. The deal is, especially if you're a new business and you're a service-based business, or you want to start a new business, you are a walking, talking poster for yourself. So when you're like, hey, it's going to go out look schlubby, it's fine. Guess what? It's not fine, because you're not going to talk to somebody about how great your new beauty business is when you look like shit. You're just not going to, right? So then consider that if you're starting a business, you are the face of your business. You are the energetic like conduit for your business. So and yes, someone said never underestimate a good hair day. Absolutely.
So also moving away from just what we're wearing, acting, showing people you're a boss. Look people in the eye when you're communicating. I know so many people that are like, looking away when they're trying to tell me something. Look people in the eye, project confidence. Always carry business cards. I mean, business cards are kind of antiquated, but still, you never know when you need to give someone a card. Notepad and a pen. Even if you keep your notes in your phone, you never know what you need to do in that moment to write something down, to give someone something. So just remember that too.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk just 1 second about the looking someone in the eye. I hate when I am talking to somebody and they don't look me in the eye or they're looking at their phone. I literally will say something, or I will just stop talking to them and either move past, because you're not giving me the respect, and my time is worth it. So if you're not going to give me the respect, guess what? You get no more of all this goodness. Okay, honey, that is the truth. And it's funny because, I actually was with a friend the other day, and she likes to bring her fashion. And she was, we were with our client, another client I introduced her to, and she had these big, really dark glasses on. And I go, can you take those off, please? She goes, what? It's my look. And I said, it's ridiculous. Like, we're inside, have some respect. Let's talk to people so they know and they could see us making contact, because we're giving them respect of talking to them.
So you already have the tools you need to believe in yourself. You already have them. So you need to let your inner boss shine. Okay. So
I'll start here.
Yeah.
So many of us grew up, if you're 40 and over, maybe not, whatever, they're like, hey, go to school, get good grades, marry somebody, have some kids, be some grandparents, get a house, die. Great. That's like your big plan, your life, right?
Get a house and die.
I'm just saying,
Wow.
Go to college, marry somebody, get a house, have some grandkids, and then go die. I'm just saying, no, but really, like, if you're over 40, like, there wasn't like, hey, make sure that you also travel the world, make sure that you're happy in life. It's this very like home economic process of what people were supposed to be or do. It's a very different world out there. People aren't living in this like old, like in this 1960s, 1980s type of sort of way, right? So one thing that our parents may have failed to do, and definitely the school system, is teach us to make time our biggest currency over everything, to make sure that there is complete joy inserted into our lives with every movement that we do, right? And there's definitely no financial planning in school. Somebody like myself, I'm sure many of you, we're 15 years old, walking into Victoria's Secret, boom, we got a Victoria's Secret credit card for $300.
I bet that credit card is still haunting some of you. It's like floating around above your head, your Victoria's Secret credit card from like 1998. I know.
Right. Or like an Eddie Bauer or an Abercrombie or a Gap or whatever the case is. So even in, when you talk financial world, so many of us had debt of $1,200 to $2,000 in credit cards, and when you have a job. So, between not being set up in the school systems, learning, to employ yourself and find work based off of purpose, time, and joy.
Oh, forget entrepreneurship. That was never taught to anyone in school.
No. Now we're stuck financially at the beginning if your parents did not talk about money and financial responsibility at home.
So don't feel bad about yourselves. With that, all that being said, do not feel bad about yourselves. It's almost like we have been set up to fail. Okay. We haven't been spoken to about money, financial freedom, how to create it, how to be entrepreneurs. And then we're never told about time being our key currency in life and to lead with happiness. Can you imagine being someone telling you that in school? It would never happen.
No, I actually recently took a course at Harvard. It was a four-day executive business program, right? And it was hardcore business. And I just couldn't get the past that it was so business, but not one point in any case study did people choose to weave in happiness or joy in what they were doing or purpose. They were doing things to make money, and that was great. And listen, Harvard's an amazing program and there's an amazing things to be part of it, but there was nothing to tell me that what I should be doing in life should run alongside my purpose ever. So knowing time is your most valuable thing. It's worth more than any amount of money you could ever accumulate. Okay. So just remember that. So why are we talking about this? Is this something that needs to be thought about when it comes to success? Absolutely. Because listen, at the end of the day, if you're making $500,000 and you're stuck behind a desk all day, it's not worth it. If you are working so much where you can't see your kids, not worth it. If you can't go travel the world and explore things on your own dime, not worth it. It's just not. So
So what good is it being your own boss and having your own business if your personal life or health is in shambles?
Mm-hmm. Or they always stress too. So when we ask you to consider what you're thinking about doing, if you're saying, I want to start a side business, is it going to tumble you where it's going to be too much stress on you and you're not going to be able to do it? So by prioritizing happiness and joy and purpose in your next decision for your life, your financial life, whether it is starting a new side business, whether it is getting a new job, whether it is up-leveling in your own career, think about joy, happiness, and purpose as your driving factor.
And when you are thinking about that, what you're really doing is you're future-proofing your future self in happiness. You're making sure that the happiness is built into your life going forward. And guess what? That's going to prevent the burnout, the feeling of, I don't like what I'm doing. What am I doing every day? Why am I here on this earth? Those existential crisis moments that we all have. Okay.
Right. When people say, hey, I'm just so burnt out from my job, that means that you're not happy there. You don't like it, or you're not being treated as you should be treated, or you're being given too much work that you don't want to do. Okay. If you love what you do, if you feel purposeful at what you do, if you feel like you're on a mission every day when you wake up because you're excited about what you're contributing, then there's no burnout that's happening. And trust me, it just does not exist when you're excited about getting up every day.
We both have been in that position. I used to be a buyer, right? And when I first came into the career world after college, I thought that would be such a cool job, right? I get to buy things. I get to travel. I went to Europe and that was cool. But guess what? It was much more like finance, like Excel spreadsheets than I thought. I thought it was all like cool shopping. No. Mm-hmm. Being a buyer is not. It's inventory planning. Ugh, disgusting. I was burnt out. Every day I was like, oh, the alarm would go off. I would hit snooze 10 times, have to go to work. I'd always be late to work because I didn't want to be there. Mm-hmm. And now I'm living within my living with purpose. I know what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I love talking to everyone and sharing. Mm-hmm. I don't even use an alarm in the morning. I'm so excited every day that I pop out of bed. I open my curtains. I see the sunshine coming in. I am ready for my day.
I love that. So Deanna just said, I just had a light bulb moment of a side hustle.
All right, Deanna, I want to hear it.
Type it in. I'm very excited.
Or take yourself off mute and tell us.
Well, nobody can steal it. I'm going to put it out there first.
Okay, you do it, girl.
But I have a 15-year-old nephew, and he doesn't learn how to budget, learn how to do money, all that kind of stuff, which I'm really good at finance. That's what my job is with Deloitte, is financial accounting. So I'm like, I could charge parents to teach their kids, since they don't teach that in school.
Love that. I
So
love that.
nobody steal it, okay?
Oh,
I
that's brilliant
love that.
though. But start a company, make it a really cool name, get a great logo, start promoting. When you're ready, let's talk about it fast.
Deanna in dollars or something, whatever. We'll talk about it. But I love that idea. I think it is excellent. So I cannot wait to talk to you about that.
Well, this is the thing, okay? Whatever you're thinking, the reason that you joined this course is because you're thinking about making a career decision somehow, some way, okay? I would be willing to bet that most of you already have some resources in your pocket for that forward movement, right? But maybe you're saying, oh, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't, contact this resource yet, whether it is a new position, a new job, whether it is, access to somebody in the restaurant business that you're very cool with and you want to start a restaurant business, right? Fear holds you back and you're like, I don't know, maybe I'm not ready. That's stupid, forget it. So when you say, well, you know what, maybe I'll do it after summer's over, or like when the kids are back to school, like forget it, stop the bullshit, just stop it right now, okay? Because today, like right now, the minute you get off the Zoom is the right time to make a change. Like while you're pumped up, while you've just heard us give your spiel, and seriously, like the people that succeed move quickly and they move with intention, all right? So if you think about this, okay?
Oh, I love that. I love Angelica. Angelica, your idea. Dollars and Cents by Deanna. That's a really good name.
SENSE. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yes. Love that, Angelica. Thank you. So when we say it's the right time and to move with urgency, if you think about something, let's say it's like your little brother, let's say it's your niece, let's say it's somebody that's a good friend of yours. If they're in it, and say you have a good job or you own a business, and they're like, hey, I was thinking about maybe coming into your business. If you can maybe mentor me, I was just thinking about it. I think I'm interested. You're like, yeah, bye. I don't have time for that shit. Right. Okay. But then if you have somebody that that says to you, listen, here's the deal. I'm sorry to, bombard you with this, but I really need to talk to you. I'm so excited about what I'm thinking about. You have 5 minutes for me. Would love to just talk to you, and you move with confidence and seriousness about your goals, whatever it is. You have so many resources, as I would be willing to bet, that you're not using. Is it somebody that likes you that you haven't put that asking yet? Also, you need to think about when you're asking your resources for anything, whether that is a consultancy, whether it is like a job, whether it is like they can help you start or give some of their resources to start your own business. You need to know what your ask is of people. Okay. And be very specific with your ask so you don't waste people's time.
This is so important. We're going to get into this a little bit more tomorrow, but Gwen and I learned this a while back, and we had to learn it because we went into so many meetings so many times while, talking, and the person would be like, okay, well, what do you want? What do you want from me? And we're like, good question. We don't even know what we're asking for. We would go into a meeting without an ask. Never walk into a meeting or a pitch or whatever you're doing without a clear ask. People want to help, but you need to tell them how they can help you.
Right. And ask and your unique selling proposition. What does that mean? What is so unique about you that is different from everybody else? Why you? Why your new toy product line? Why your new beauty brand? Why should I hire you? Why should I give you the position? And this comes with, and we talk about, again, crafting your new story, crafting your story of, who you're going to be on an epic level and why people should want to help you. Find your why. Okay.
And we get into all of that, digging down to that. So knowing what we discussed above, what resources can you pull together immediately to make your future professional life come together? Who do you know? Why do they want to help you? What business could use your service that you're thinking of? Maybe a business you're thinking of, who can use it? Deanna, you already answered that. You know that there are people out there that need it. Who can help you today? Just think about it. So waiting for the perceived right, instead of waiting for the perceived right time, move quickly with intention, like Gwen said. Don't wait for someone else to make that connection for you on their own time. You had a good example of this. If you know someone that's husband's in
in a
some
corporate
business.
position and you like their job, is it like, hey, Sally, wondering if you connect me to Jim? I'm interested. No, call Jim yourself. Stop waiting for other people to lead you or guide you or help you or be there for you.
Don't wait for that email response.
No.
Get on the phone and do it. If you need to send a freaking pigeon, send a pigeon.
Or a parakeet.
Yeah. Like pigeon.
We're
was
all over the pigeon
New York
shit.
City, we were pigeon people. Now we're like parakeet people in Miami.
No, literally parakeets fly around. It's cool.
Okay. So
Anyway, it's about taking fierce
Yes.
and bold action for yourself. End of day, that's how people win.
So that said, today is the right time. I know you have the resources. I know you know people. I know you have the connections. It is time to make the jump. So the goal in life is peacock on someone.
Exactly. Elizabeth just said, I'm going to put a peacock on someone's lawn. That will get them attention right away.
So
love it.
The goal in life is to change. We are hoping that you guys change with us. To make progress in life, you must ascend higher and higher and higher. We all need to. No one is at their ultimate goal. We aren't. No one is. Even, Jeff Bezos probably wants to go somewhere in life.
I mean, he just went to space. Where's he going?
I don't know, maybe another galaxy.
Deep sea.
Exactly, another galaxy, whatever. So let's talk about, this is the last, we have a few more things to get through, but I want the pen and paper out again. I want to talk about the 7 things you can do tonight to start resetting yourself to level up. There's a worksheet around this too, of course, but let's talk about this right now. Number 1, write out your personal and professional goals and be specific about them. Gwen already said this. Use your why as the base. Do you want to talk about the why a little bit?
Right. So if you say, I want to have money, why? And then you say your why. And then you keep asking yourself why. Go down 5 rabbit holes of why, because you need to understand what's really driving your movement about, and is it at the end of the day, you find out that really why you want money is that so you can have impact to help people. Like, what is that? So you don't have to feel insecure anymore. So you don't have to do this. And I would be willing to bet you a lot of this, again, stems from either childhood or feelings that you've had over the past however many years about why you feel like you need money or something certain so bad.
Was it a past experience where you felt backed into a corner? You were living within the scarcity mindset. You didn't have money. Keep going. Why about everything. Personal development and personal understanding is so important to do, to know how to move in life. You must understand yourself. So the next thing I want you to write down, what is your next big thing? Do you have an idea that's just sitting there for years? I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of ideas. Have you really thought about writing them down and how to get to making that idea come to fruition? I want you to write that down. The next thing I want you to do is identify the times that you rose up in life, that you beat all odds. You stood tall when everything was stacked against you, when life almost took you out. We all have these moments in life that we were just in the depths of garbage and we did not let it overcome us. Write that down. You need to recognize your own strength and what you have done in this life.
You want to write down all the times you kicked ass, took names, and felt super proud of yourself. When you were like, I did it, write down those times, because I'd be willing to bet there's a lot.
Absolutely.
Also, we want you to write down the list of resources that you have, the contacts that you know, people that you could reach out to for coffee, for a cocktail, for a consultation. Maybe it's like a Facebook friend from, high school that, you see they're doing something cool and you want to just talk to them for a bit. People want connections in this world and they do want to help, but they can't be inconvenienced in helping you.
That's important.
That is the truth. Like me, I'll do anything for everybody, but if you make it hard for me to do, I'm not doing it. It's going to take me forever.
When you want to ask someone for something, make sure you're delivering that ask and how they can go about it on a silver platter. Make it very, very easy for people. People don't want to be inconvenienced. People don't like hard work. They want to help, but if it's easy for them, just remember that. You want to take that?
Yeah. Then we talked about write down your why, and we said that why people should help you, why they should refer you, why they should introduce you, why they should buy from you if you're selling something, and why they should hire you. Again, here's where you're going to want to put what's your unique selling proposition. And that's even if you want to start a new business. A lot of people will say, well, this is my unique, selling proposition. But what is, if you're starting a business, you need to think about, or want to start a business, what is your product solving? What is your service solving?
Always start with the problem you are trying to solve. Always, when starting a business, there must be a problem you're trying to solve. Those are the most successful businesses. Think about, even big scale, Uber, Uber, Seamless Web, Google search.
We can talk about we can just talk about Fenty for a second, Rihanna's brand. The problem was that there weren't enough shades for as many beautiful color skin tones as there were in this world. Okay, so the company behind it, LVMH, or her, said, okay, so we're going to have 40 amazing shades so everybody can feel included. So, and that is the power, though, of why people love the brand so much, besides Rihanna, because they're saying there is a problem out there. We're going to help solve it. So if you're just, having another, or like with you, Deanna, your unique services, the problem that you're solving is that kids aren't being educated about finances. You are solving the problem, even if you do it on a local scale to start. You know what I mean? With the people and parents that you know, and then you move on and do it online with once a week, Date with Deanna, and they're talking and it's fun and it's cool. Or you bring the concept to Cool Children's Museum.
And I want to talk about an example of someone that has thought about this and someone that hasn't. With ladies we've worked with recently, there's a person in one of our groups who is starting a business, and her problem was, okay, when people travel, they can't go to the bathroom. I bet a lot of people feel this way on here, right? And that's a great thing to start with, because you know that people have this problem and you are looking to solve this problem. Excellent product idea. You're already starting with a solution, versus there's someone else who she'll get there, but right now she has a jewelry line and she was not solving a problem for anyone. She was just saying, I can't get sales around my jewelry line. And we said, well, why are you selling this jewelry line? What's the story behind it? What is it? And she didn't have that answer. And I can tell you that's why she wasn't converting people to sales.
Right. And it's not just obviously, if you have a jewelry, maybe it doesn't solve a problem. Like the ring did, the thing that's called the ring, it's solved a security problem. But here's the thing, is that if jewelry doesn't necessarily solve a problem, or you don't have a product,
it makes people happy. That is solving a problem.
Yes. But if it doesn't necessarily what you want to do solve a problem, then think about what your unique story is that people could buy into. So we have Alexis, I'll call her out again since she worked for us, who cares? So Alexis, her family's from Greece, hardcore Greek folks, okay? Hardcore. She told me her family is basically like my big Greek wedding. Love that. And they own a olive farm. And she was like, after our last course, she was like, screw this. I'm going to make olive oil from Greece. I'm like, screw that. Is it a big place? A big, beautiful place? She's like, yeah, it's in the cliffs. I'm like, why aren't we doing weddings? Why aren't we doing where in I Love Lucy, when they all squash the grapes and have twice a year, people can come and do the olive picking and be part of this whole beautiful Greek food under the trees event place. And she's like, yep, love it. I'm on it. Since that time, she met with her brothers. They have created a name. They bottled a bunch of olive oil and they've already started selling it. Great.
And the problem
it's a story. It's a family-based business in Greece.
You have a story, but you also have a problem you're solving, right? And if you know about the olive oil business, which I do for some reason, because I love olive oil, is a lot of what you're being sold in the stores is not even single estate, they call it, olive oil. It's mixed with a bunch of seed oils, which is not healthy for you. So you could be providing someone a really quality product and educating them about the power of olive oil. There are all these compounds that are so healthy for you. So you actually can create a story around a problem you're solving by bringing them, this pure Greek olive oil. So, think about that with any product that you're thinking about launching, business you're starting.
Right. So you're going to want to write down everything we just said. Also, whatever you're doing, how will you boldly and with conviction make people care? That is the key to everything. Okay. You have to make them care. So with that being said, we ask you again, do all the workbooks. All right. I want to leave some time. We have about 10 minutes and I want to leave some time for some questions, for some throw out, for a quick brainstorming session on anyone's ideas about what they have to say about new businesses, about thoughts that are kind of bubbling in their mind that they need some questions answered. We're here to help and we can flip a script, kind of what just happened with Deanna.
Definitely. I just want to say, it's very, very important you guys do this work for yourselves, okay? Having the mindset is the actual key to success. And if you're not going to show up for yourself and do the work, who the hell is? So now let's open it up. Let's open this up to a few questions. So we'll do that for 5 minutes, and then we'll tell you, you can find us here tomorrow and all that good stuff. We'll close out.
Mm-hmm. So does anybody have a business idea that they want to throw out here, or something that they're thinking about getting into that we can help flip a quick
Or
script?
are you looking, you have a career question, or are you looking to re-enter the workforce? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So someone wants to start a trucking company. Okay, I want to know, what problem are you solving? I know that there's a problem you're trying to solve with that. Real estate. There's someone that's a feng shui consultant.
Okay, so I think
Cool.
Rachel you hit us up before here. And so Rachel says she's a feng shui consultant and she came from the luxury world. Okay. And there's something that has happened, obviously. And I love that. And I think that's really cool. And I think that you do come from a luxury background is really great, makes you very unique in what to have, because people, okay, that can afford, luxury products and luxury things, they are aware of not only feng shui, but they're more mindfulness and more willing to spend money with you.
So I saw someone that had their hand up. Lauren, do you want to come off mute and chat with us?
Yeah, sure. Hey, thank you so much for this. This came at like the perfect time.
Oh, good.
So thank you. So I launched a company. I'm patent pending for the design. I launched in September, and I'm basically created a whole new category of outerwear. And so I've been having trouble educating, like once people buy it, they love it. But I thought it would just like go and be like amazing, like just like kind of naive. It's my first product base. I'm in real estate on the day job. So I guess like the education curve, I think maybe I'm not starting with the problem, and maybe like that's how I need to pitch it, like what it solves. But I don't know. I am the first mover. So
what is so special about the outerwear company?
It combines a hoodie, a vest, as I'm wearing now, combines a hoodie, a vest, and scarf into one everyday staple that can be worn and layered and styled in multiple ways that will warm you without smothering you and help you feel empowered. It's like Katniss vibes. It's like that hand on your chest that supports you and warms you from the inside out. I created it when I was healing myself from chronic and autoimmune disease.
Okay, so there's two things here, right? So you created this for a warming effect. Is it, does that have something to do with maybe helping anxiety? I'm not sure. But also, isn't that the perfect travel solution for people?
Yeah, it is.
So you need to start thinking about, what is this solving for people?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think like you already answered that. So I think leading with that message of what you are providing to people.
And your unique story is that you needed to be healed. You were healing. You needed something to comfort you. So now between that and there's other things, attributes that it has to it, you're offering it to everybody else. Plus, travel it, pack it to go. Scared for that next flight? Use this new thing. And plus, get a little Katniss from Hunger Game vibe while you're at it. Super stylish. So consider it in like a very fun PR way. PR post.
Also,
what would somebody say about it if Vogue wrote about it?
People buy into people behind the brands, not just the brand. So who are you? What's your story? You healed yourself from an autoimmune, you're saying, issue. Put that story forward. Put the story of you forward. Make people fall in love with you, because once they're tied emotionally to you, they're going to buy what you're selling. So bring that forward.
Mm-hmm. So like when I'm trying to get PR stuff, like lead with that essentially. Like, okay.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that a little bit more for, the PR behind a side business and growing your business. And we'll have a course specifically on your business, and with the tactics of how to grow the business and how to utilize, PR in your business.
But it's key messaging when you have a business for anybody, what you're talking to, right? You never know who you're sitting next to. You never know who you're talking to. I'd be willing to bet as of right now, Lauren, you probably aren't even telling your story, right, to anybody who's listening. Right here, I guess there's 100, 200 women, whatever there is. We're all potential customers, right? So you should always know what your elevator pitch is. I have this and this is what I do and this is who I am. So that way, in the Crazy Filthy Rich group and Facebook, which you definitely should join because everyone talks in there, you could be like, hey guys, my name is Lauren and this is what I have. 2 seconds later, someone's like, wow, I'm traveling. My kid's total schizo on the plane. Like they're 15. They need this too. Mm-hmm. So you need to always know in business what your elevator pitch is to anybody at any time. And what in that elevator pitch, what's the uniqueness right now? So I understand it.
Okay,
But
so
definitely be on for tomorrow because we're digging down on that.
next
I
person that had their hand up is Martha. Come on off video. Come on video. Hello.
Hi.
You're on mute. Okay, good.
Okay. Hey. Hi. So throughout the years, I have studied different counseling modalities, maybe to help me go through all these pre-established beliefs since I was little and helping me raise my kids and now my grandkids. So I studied different healing modalities, and I'm pretty good at helping people find their goals, find their purpose in life, and get to that place where the heart is fed with joy and is not only income producing, because I've seen many very wealthy people that are miserable. So money does not buy joy. Money does not buy life and purpose. And I'm looking into starting my consulting business, helping people get to that place. You know, it was years and years of learning that I did it for self-growth, for myself, but I'm pretty good at what I do with friends, and I want to convert this into a business. My 3-second elevator pitch will be, if you want it, you can get it. It is there for you. You are the only one that's preventing you from achieving it. Let's work on this.
So when and if you're starting from, you have an idea and it's something like this, like in the whole coaching world and business world, okay, the deal is that there are people around you that need your services right now and immediately. It just takes one person for you to be like, I have my first client, I have my first customer, right? Whether you say to your local group of women or at a local school, whatever your local world looks like, your immediate world looks like, hey guys, this is who I am. This is what my name of my company is. This is the services I'm offering. And this is my first free program. This is my first free course. Come and join us. Come be part of it. But you need to get the conversation started instead of just saying, I want to do this, right? And then like we just did when we said, hey, we think that we're worthy to talk to you guys because we build Fortune 500 companies. We build celebrities. We build brands. That's the value that we provide. So now when clients pay us, $500,000 a year, or they give us a $2 million contract, we're giving this shit to you guys for free right now. That's what we're doing. Okay. And that's what we do for people that pay us, the big dollars. Now, your experience is that you have so many years studying this, right? And you know about all these different things. So that's your unique experience. And now you want to help people find their joy.
And I've done it for free with friends and family and classmates.
So then start charging.
And can you get some testimonials from those people?
Yeah.
Can you get testimonials and start putting that out? Because you should. These people want social proof of what you're selling them actually works.
Mm-hmm. We had some amazing testimonials coming from our last course that we did. And not only like they brought such joy to us, they showed other people that said, oh, I don't know about them. I don't know about them. Well, guess what? I didn't even say it about me. Somebody else just said it about me. So testimonials are really important. Obviously, a website, a card, all that good stuff, all the branding basics 101 is what we are teaching in the Side Hustle, the course.
So I'm going to get to the other people that have their hands up, and we can stay a little bit on extra. I know we are running into our time. We were here for 2 hours, but I'm going to get to those people with their hands up. I just want to say for anyone that has to leave right now, where we're going next, tomorrow, we're digging into all of the, how to get back into the workforce, what to do if you have a business idea that you want to start, and how to get more money in your career. And what we're doing right now is we do have courses that are coming next that dive really deep into this. And those are going to be available to look at on our website today. So you can dig in, you can see what we're offering and what those syllabi, the plural of syllabus, what that looks like and if those are right for you. Okay, so that is gonna be on crazyfilthyrich.com. So I want to get to Ashley. You have your hand raised.
Hi, thank you so much for doing this all today. It's been awesome. I have followed you both on social media for a really long time, so it's really fun to actually interact with you.
Awesome.
So my question, I am a professional career counselor, formally trained, went to grad school, certifications, all that. I'm currently a director at a university. Higher education is a huge mess, really underpaid, understaffed, all that kind of stuff. I had a lot of people coming to me about 5 years ago saying, oh, my cousin or my aunt or whoever needs career help outside the university. So I started a private practice. I've been doing it kind of on the side. However, working a full-time job, taking one-on-one clients is like so like over like time consuming. It can get overwhelming. So I've been trying to find more passive income sources where, like, for this summer, I'm working on writing a book and creating online courses that I can then sell and, reach more people. But my question is, do you have any suggestions for if you are in the situation where you need the full time to survive, like financially, I can't just quit my job right now. But if you have any suggestions for kind of balancing and being able to still give your passion projects and the things you really care about the time and energy that you want so that you can, so ultimately I can get to that life that I want to live where I'm not chained to a desk or asking for permission to take time off or, turning my camera off because I have 1 hour to eat lunch while I'm at my, that kind of thing. So any advice you have for that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the deal is I urge you to, like, in your head, make a commitment to what you really want, right? So if you're like, you know what, in 1 year, I don't want to be at this job anymore. I want to have a full-time, like, pop in, coaching business. Great. Okay. So what is your unique offering in that coaching business, right? So make it a program that people could also buy online, record it on Kajabi, and say, with your course, so then you're making money in your sleep. With this course that you're doing, you can easily rebrand yourself. Here's what the new resumes are looking like right now. Here's the new resources. Here's what the new cover letters look like. Or anything that you're saying, put it into a syllabus and shop it as a program A. B, a book does take a lot of time to write. And if you don't have a publishing house behind it, it is, I hope I'm going to write this and it's going to go somewhere. Okay, cool. I get that. But if you think about doing also if someone's really looking for a job, it's also think about, do they want to read a whole book on career coaching or do they want quick, fast, actionable steps to take them to the next level? Mm-hmm. So maybe it's a podcast where people like Monster and Indeed are actually sponsoring you and you're making money off it. And Spotify, you're making money off of it. Because at the end of the day, it's that all these employers can't find any people to work for them. So I'd like you to think about how you can make money from businesses. Also, not just people that are paying you, people that don't have a lot of money. Go to your local, maybe there's a local chain where you live, right? And that they have 10 coffee shops. And every time you go there, they have signs on the window, say hiring, hiring, hiring. You go in and speak to the manager, be like, hey, you know what I do? This is what I do. I'm going to tell you what, you pay me this amount of money, I'm going to find your right people.
You're talking employee retention. So you're going to businesses and saying, I provide a program for you to implement within your company on employee retention. I know you need this. Everyone does. So definitely hook into, and I would ask the people you've worked with, what have you found most valuable about me and my services? Distill everything you've done and hear from your customers what they find valuable, because you may be wasting your time on something you think people need, but that's not what they're taking away from it. So think about that. And also, I would highly recommend you prioritizing, I don't know if it's 1 hour a day or whatever, schedule it in. Schedule in your hour a day to work on your own business, just how you would at your job or your yoga class or whatever. Schedule it in and make a commitment to yourself. It's 1 hour a day, that's 7 hours a week, and do it on the weekends. Many businesses are built by people that have full-time jobs.
Mm-hmm. When you think about like retention of client base, okay, like the goal is that you have a business and that client keeps coming back and back and back and back forever. You prep them, you get them a job, they ain't coming back. They don't need you anymore. Thank you so much, Ashley. You did amazing for me. Bye. Then you got to find another customer. Wouldn't it be better if the brands could pay you to help them find? Because then they always, as they expand, need more people. You got solid checks coming in. Do you know what I'm saying? You now have a service to help people solve a national problem.
And if they're paying you on a retainer basis, that's a monthly income for you that you're then not going to be as scared to leave your full-time job because you can project your income for the year.
Right. So not saying you work for Harvard, whoever you work for, right? Couldn't you then in somehow, some way talk to them and say, you know what, to your boss, I'm actually not going to be able to do this next year. This time is my last time, but I've started this practice, as you know, and I'm moving full time into this. And I'm also taking on corporations and brands that
So do you want to be my first client, Harvard?
Or whoever it is? You'd be very surprised on how many people need your service, but consider that the goal is when starting any product, any small business, anything is to keep long-term clients that keep coming back to buy what you have.
So, okay.
Thank you. I love the retainer idea. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
And you guys can DM us on Crazy Filthy Rich or our personal ones. We always are chatting in the DMs.
You know,
Um,
and then and just FYI, in the small business one, we will talk about how to scale your retainers, how to scale your asks of people, how to scale your prices for people so that in your head, you're not like, well, I'm a newbie, so I want to start, small. We're going to banish that shit right out of your head and say no, because people will pay you what you tell them you're worth. And sometimes, like, example, if I was going to the gynecologist or whatever, and someone said, okay, it's only $25 for the visit. Or it's $100 for the visit. I don't know about you, but if I'm really wanting to have a kid or something's wrong, I'm going to the $100 person because $25 seems too cheap. Something may be wrong.
Right.
So you have to really think about that in
Your
your
pricing
business, the
structure.
pricing structure.
And perceived
when
value.
you say, yeah. And what people think you're worth.
Okay. So hope that was a little bit helpful. Also, if you have any other questions, you could put it in the Facebook group too,
Mhm,
because there's so many, it's like a hive of people that can give answers to. Abby, you have your hand up. You are not on video though. Hey girl.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Hi. So I have a question about social media, and I know you guys are both really active, and I would consider myself like a creeper. Like I read a lot, I follow a lot, but I never post anything. And so in building my Pilates business, I'm curious how you guys feel like, is it a must, or can you have a successful in-home small business without having to post on Instagram and stuff like that?
Listen, businesses were successful before there was social media. So you of course can. However, if you're asking me who lives on social media, I believe it's a must. You can attract so many people. You can become globally known. It could propel you that you're so busy that people know you and want to work with you so much. It expands beyond your local business and you create a platform for people. So for me, the answer is hell yes, get on social media. However, if you're like, oh, it's just not me, I dread it. If you're coming with that attitude around it, dread, you're never going to make it what it's going to be. And if you're not going to do it to the fullest and make it the best you can, don't half-ass it and don't do it then.
Right.
That's my small answer to that.
Yeah, but I do think what's stopping you from doing it? I don't know how to do it. Lack of knowledge, bullshit. Look at what other Pilates teachers are doing in Pilates studios around the country.
Right.
So that's X'd out. Fear, okay, you got to get over that. But you know what's interesting? I was watching randomly the Kardashians last night. I wanted to see what this was about on Hulu. And it was interesting because Khloe was saying how insecure now she felt with social media because everyone's judging her. And no matter what she puts up, everyone's judging. So is it fear of someone judging you that you're not doing it?
Yes.
Or
yes, for sure.
But at the end of the day, you do what you do. You are an expert at what you do. If you make it uniquely yours, and you're passionate about what you do, which I know you are, and you have conviction in what you do, which I know you are, even if a few people love it and you get a few clients from it, screw it.
Yeah.
Also, social media, I always like to say this. You can, the fear of judgment and people not liking you or whatever. You can be the juiciest peach in the world and there will always be people that don't like peaches. Who cares?
Yeah. I think for me, it's like the uncomfortable fact of my workouts have fallen off like a lot of people in the pandemic, and it's my career and it's my job. So there's that level of I fell off and I wasn't as in great shape as I was pre-pandemic. And so there's that insecurity of I'm trying to get myself back going. But then my other side says well, so are so many other people. So many people fell off in the pandemic of their workouts or their healthy eating or, and I also moved countries, right before the pandemic. So a lot of stuff happened. I have that voice to say.
But Abby, look, in the quote, somebody are saying right now, but that's what makes you relatable. Exactly. That's your story. That's your hook. You're like us. So what if you did a video on a reel and said, oh, okay, guys, Pilates teacher extraordinaire who herself has also fallen off the bandwagon. So join me and watch me as we get back.
And let's do this together.
And the people that maybe aren't in shape or were scared because they weren't perfect to start Pilates, maybe some of those people will be your new clients.
Well, that's
someone just said, I don't even know Pilates and I need help.
That is Planet Fitness's whole business model, right? Not being judged, where Equinox is like this beautiful, these sexy people, and people are intimidated by that, right?
If you're not skinny,
Yeah,
women,
100%.
don't even go. Like,
Right.
seriously.
So people are intimidated by that. And then Planet Fitness, which is a much larger business, it's because no judgment here. And that's their like logo.
Yeah.
And people like that. So be relatable. Say, take people on a journey with you. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you got going on.
Yeah,
for
because you
there.
know how to get back there. So it's not
Yeah.
like you're not going to. You know what I'm saying? So people going the journey with you and being like, you know what? And you should honestly kick it up on video. Make it actually part of your shtick, you know? Hey guys, and have people start joining you for your like own workout sessions that they could do with you from home. When you see how much joy you're going to bring people as they start strengthening themselves and their core and they're able to do certain things, like your business will explode.
Okay.
Thank you,
So-
ladies.
Of course, Abby. You know where to find us. Someone, Cat Glove, you have your hands up. But you got to come off video. Hello.
Hold on, Abby, you have 4 people right now ready to take your class. I'm just saying. So get on it. Join it and put it in the Facebook group.
Where people can find you. Okay. Hi, Kat.
Hi. So I have a company called Superfood City. I actually sent Gwen a sample of my cookie.
I loved it. Okay, this is so fucked up, guys. Okay, so she sent me this product and it was so good that I actually ate it all before I was supposed to take social media pictures of it.
That's why you can never send Gwen anything.
I was messed up because I wanted to really support, but I was like, okay, I'll put 1 cookie left. And oh my God, it was so good. I still posted it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But so what sets me apart as a company is that it's gluten-free, it's vegan, it's refined sugar-free. I have a huge focus on all eco-friendly, like plant-based packaging. Everything I use is sustainable. And as a certified functional nutrition coach, that's why I created the company, because I couldn't find a healthy treat to get in store. In Whole Foods, I went through 20 bags of cookies and I would find one ingredient I didn't want to consume, one thing that wasn't perfect. So I just created something because I thought there has to be people like me who want like a truly healthy treat. Yes, it's a cookie, but every single ingredient has a health benefit. So I want to like feel good about having a healthy treat. So I'm in one store out here on Long Island. I don't know, it's not a food store, but I sell it there. So it's in the Walt Whitman Mall in Huntington.
Well, we're from Long Island. We know what's up on Long Island.
Strong Island.
It's like a local like art store, like local handmade things type of thing, like little like house gifts and like things like that. But it was my first store, so it's just a start. And I do farmers markets out east every weekend. I do really well at the farmers markets, but I just need more income because this is my only job. I started it because I actually got let go of my job. I had like a 9-to-5 like sales job in the city, moved out of the city and got let go during the pandemic. So I just used it as like just a force to make me actually follow my true passion. You know, I wasn't working in anything that I actually even cared about. So I became certified as a nutrition coach and as a way to supplement my income doing coaching while also, you know, sort of giving me some credentials for the cookie company. But now I'm having trouble getting clients. I need clients to buy the cookies. I need clients as health coaching. You know, it's a lot of like family and friends doing it now. And I'm just like, I'm not sure how to expand that and get more people to know about my company. And, you know, with like a small budget that I'm working with here.
Well, a couple of things. Now, I just want to say that, so Abby doesn't live where you live. You live in New York. We did have another Blueprint member, Erica, who lives in the Hamptons. But I want you to consider collaborations when you don't have a lot of money. Okay. So you're doing farmers market in the Hamptons, which is great. But this woman, Erica, who is, she's in our group. And if you just say, hey, I'm Kat, I'll connect you with her. So she teaches yoga out in the Hamptons, right? Her really good friend and client is Christina Cuomo. Christina Cuomo owns The Purist. Okay. The Purist is the top magazine out in the Hamptons. Okay. So that's interesting if you were to do some sort of weekend collaboration with her. So what you want to do if you don't have a lot of money is collab with other people so you don't have to, you can combine your resources together. By combining your resources together, you get their social media people, your social media people, you get people that maybe you don't already know to have interest with you guys, and then do a after the farmer's market, or even at the farmer's market, bring one of your friends or your mom or whoever else to help you sell, right? But on the side, you're doing 15-minute nutritional coaching. Or you're collaborating with an Erica or somebody else, a yoga teacher in the Hamptons, to say, hey guys, we're offering 30-minute nutritional something, okay? You need to tell people why they need it, okay? Growing up in America, nobody was ever taught they need nutritional health coaching. It was eat this refined sugar, eat this crap, eat it. Oh, and you want to have a diet, eat snack balls, fat-free snacks, not knowing that had so much bad shit in for you, okay? If we look at something like the show What the Health on Netflix, that was so groundbreaking to so many of us, yet it's so simple in knowledge about what we should be knowing or how we should be living. So if you consider that was just a few years ago, and that was so groundbreaking, most people don't even know anything about nutrition, and they don't even know what gluten-free does or is unless they have an allergy for it. So I think that like in your program and practice, education is key. Who are we? What do we do? Why are we so important? And really kind of get into, the people and look about the collaborations and connections that you can
also
make.
The problem you're solving for people, right? Refined sugars, seed oils, gluten-free, what that does to the population. People don't even know. Also, I would recommend trying to find some key stores as goals for you to get in, right? Like your number one key store as a goal to get in should be Erewhon, okay? It's the best store in LA. It's the who's who goes there. And yes, you may not get into it right away, but have that on your goal list and try to call them, get the buyer's number. Why not? The buyer's on Instagram somewhere.
I'm telling you that these cookies are so good. Like, honestly, some of the best cookies I've ever had in my life. Forget gluten-free, forget healthy. I'm serious, guys. So they want to know on here, the name is Superfood City.
Put your information in there and put it in the Facebook
and the
group as
website.
well.
Why not?
Tell people where to find you. And I think that's really great. And we'll dig into more about the business and how to grow a business. And we have that detailed in the course as well.
But if you do have a business, or if you're thinking about business, I am telling you this as one entrepreneur to a hopeful other one. The side hustle course that we do have will help you everything from write out your PR strategy, learn so you can understand how to get media, learn how to understand how to get social media attention, learn how to set it up as a success for yourself. So you don't have to be 6 months in, 12 months in, like, hey, I spend so much money, I don't really know what I'm doing.
And I don't know how to
I don't know have any customers. I don't have any clients. Because, especially if it's something you're passionate about.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're welcome,
Of
Kat.
course. All right, ladies, we have gone over as always. We always talk too much. So again, we will see you hopefully all tomorrow, same time, same Zoom link. Do the homework tonight. Ask us any questions. Go to Crazy Filthy Rich. Look at the courses that we are, presenting to you guys. See if any of those make sense for you. They should. The side hustle one, anyone that talked about starting a business, go look at that. We will get into it. No. I'll let her write it. You write your information in there.
I'm writing it for you, Kat.
Put your information in there. Put it in the media group, the Facebook group. We will share it. And so see you all tomorrow. Hopefully same time. And yes, this was great. You guys are amazing.
Everyone wants cookies. Great.
Everyone
Me too.
wants
All right,
cookies.
guys. Thanks so much.
Bye,
We'll see you
guys.
tomorrow.